duped to think they're at Antarctica. I do think that they're being duped to think they're at Antarctica. I don't think Union Glacier is really at Antarctica. I think it's at a different location, and it's placed as Antarctica.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hello everyone, I'm Craig McNeill. Welcome back to the channel that does the stupidity. What I'm going to do to Andrew Wilson at DebateCon in 5 days' time. I'm joking. Andrew Wilson is actually pretty good at debating. Probably the first good debater that I've ever faced. Well, he's good at his subject anyway, but I've been practicing and I'm going to destroy it. And if you are not aware, I will be in America for DebateCon 5 in just 4 days' time. 14th, 15th and 16th. You can still get some tickets to see me live, if that's what you enjoy. Anyway, today we are having back to the channel Stoops the cat, who doesn't seem as angry as last time, which is nice. How you doing, Stoops?
I'm doing all right, man. I didn't know you were coming to the States.
Yeah, I leave on Friday. Looking forward to it. Hopefully the planes don't crash after Trump took away safety or something. I'm not sure what's going on.
And I think they were crashing before he took over too, though.
Yeah, I have literally no idea. Hopefully my first trip to America won't end in me burning up in a ball of fire in the sky. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to be in Newark, New Jersey, debating Andrew Wilson and Alex Stein, which will be fun. Neither are flat Earth debates, which is also fun. Yeah.
What?
Well, the first one is what's better for society, secular humanism or Christianity, and the second one is a moon landing debate. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
First one, yeah, that sounds good.
So, you wanted to talk a bit about the final experiment. You've still got some issues with it, but last time you were on, you kind of asked me a lot of questions about why I do what I do. And I wanted to show you something that's come up today. I've been talking to a flat earther called Steve. You might have seen me debate him about the final experiment and stuff. And he put out a challenge to prove that Jaren said something, but the challenge is irrelevant. What's important is the comment left on the video. And I'm just going to bring it up. Where is it? There. Right, okay.
Who is this man? Who is this guy?
Right, so this is a flat earther called Steve, who's been arguing about the final experiment, saying it's fake and everything. He talked to Will Duffy, and they agreed that Will would phone him whilst he was in Antarctica at like 3 o'clock in the morning UK time. It didn't happen the first day because there was stuff going on. And Will was going to do it the second day, but Steve got really angry because he wasn't the most important thing in the world and has just been saying a bunch of very horrible stuff. But all of that is kind of irrelevant. I wanted to point out why I do what I do, and I'm going to do that by showing you the the comment on the video that he put out recently. So basically, he put out this video in a response to me completing his challenge and lied a bunch, right? And there's a comment here by, let's see if I can find it. There's so many. Oh, has he deleted the comment? I might have to show it you from my phone.
So what was the challenge? What were you?
The challenge was to prove that Jaren said something. Because he's saying that Jarenism said that the sun set, when he didn't. Jaren was saying that he was talking about the sun not setting, and then he changed sentences and said the word since.
No. I did listen to that. I heard. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The way that he breaks.
Here we go. Yeah.
Whatever you're talking
about. I mean, I've proven that it's since using the closed captions in the video. That even YouTube picked it up as since.
Closed captions get it wrong all the time.
But also the structure of the sentence doesn't make sense with the word set, because he says, and then the sun goes up. And
well, it didn't really make sense with the word since.
It does when you listen to what he says after, because what he says after is, since people have been asking about the camp at Union Glacier, and then he takes the camera over and points at the camp. So it's two sentences. What he does is he trails off one sentence. He says, and the sun goes up, and since people have been asking. And Steve thought that said set, but that's all irrelevant. What's important?
It actually sounded more like, and then the sun sets. People have been asking. There was like a little pause right before he said sets or since.
Yeah, which for me is, it doesn't make sense, if it's saying sets, because
it really doesn't make sense either way, the way he said it. Even if
he was tired, he'd been there a long time. They were all a little feverish and stuff as well. But this comment,
well, then maybe he might have slipped up and said sets when he wasn't supposed to say sets.
But anyway, all of that is kind of irrelevant. What's important is the fact that he's a flat earther and what that has done to his family. I want to read this comment out to you. Hey, Dad, this is really disheartening to watch. You are completely delusional. It's a real shame to witness you slowly going down this path of self-righteous dismissal of reality, even when shown contrary evidence. You have absolutely no intention of exploring it in any valid way. You just stick to your guns and do the necessary mental gymnastics to hold on to your existing presumptions. This video is a public example of my private frustrations with you as a father. The dishonest nature of your approach here highlights how impossible it is to have an adult conversation with you about beliefs. You literally act like a child. And as one of your children, it's really painful to watch. I would welcome an opportunity for you to answer some basic questions from me on the subject. God knows I've tried. Perhaps that could be a video you'd be willing to approach in an adult fashion. I'd be happy to set aside some time to do this. My suggestion is we could go down to the local beach, lay on the stones by the shore, watch the sun set entirely, then jump up and run up to a higher vantage point to watch it set again. Then perhaps you can offer a flat earth explanation for this phenomenon. I'm sure you decline this offer though, as you seem uninterested in exploring anything that undermines your pre-existing beliefs, at least in any meaningful or honest way. Everybody gets things wrong, it's part of being human. I worry you have created this alternate reality for yourself whereby an admission of being wrong about this particular idea means an admission perhaps you could be wrong about other beliefs you hold, a belief in God, etc. And so the list of things that need to be wrong in order for you to be right just gets longer and longer and longer. The number of conspirators grow with it. Soon your worldview would just be against absolutely everybody, and you'll be fine with that as you believe you have an imaginary God on your side, therefore you are infallible. It's utter nonsense, and either deep down you know it, but you cannot handle facing it, or you just genuinely cannot see your own biases. Either way, I love you, because you're my dad, and despite your eccentricities, you are great in other areas. But the fragility of your beliefs makes you unbearable at times. I'm sorry to have to do this, but I feel as though I've tried so many times to talk to you about this stuff in person, and it always ends the same way. And you get very angry and are unable to engage with what I'm saying. You obviously prefer YouTube as a platform to discuss this stuff, so here I am, Matt. Alright, that's his own son, who has obviously tried to talk to him about it, and no matter what happens, he is pushed away. And my entire point of showing this is that it's always been my opinion that Flat Earth is very capable of destroying families. Literally ripping them apart, because when you believe in the Flat Earth, you believe that everyone is lying to you, and it's very hard to get out of that mindset. And when your own family tries to help you, you push them away and push them away. I have seen this more times than I can count. right? So to answer your original question of why I act the way I do, number one, it's because I give them a chance to give me the way they're acting and copy it. But number two, it's because I see this. I see the destruction of families. I see the stupidity breeding and like literally taking people away from reality. And for me, that is one of the worst things that can happen, to lose your families because of a belief in something that is stupid. All right, let's say he believes in the flat earth. That's cool. But why does that then have to become between you and your family? It's because of the way the flat earth changes your mentality.
So, okay. It sounds like the guy got a little bit upset. I mean, people can get obsessed with any sort of idea, right? And just take it way too far. I see that. That seems like kind of an outlier. I don't see believing we live on a plane instead of a globe is going to disrupt anyone's life really in any way, unless like they apparently, like this guy probably sounds like he could never shut up about it or something. That's his little hobby, you know, he's excited about it or whatever. And
yeah, but you say it's the outlier, and that's the problem. It's really not. Let's look at flat earth people. Let's look at Nathan Thompson, and not just his family, but many families that he's destroyed. Morgile, who his children disowned him, and he's constantly fighting with his wife. God, Cece and his wife,
did all these people make flat earth channels? Were they
some of them have flat earth channels, but there's been some people that I've just debated because I've come across them on on Facebook or X or something, and so many of them are on the streets or in their car or estranged from their family. There's a guy recently, Nico, right, who's been arguing against the flat earth, against the final experiment, sorry, and I could see it that he was upset about stuff, and I said, you got problems with your family, and his face broke, and he admitted that his family don't like him. They won't talk to him because he's the black sheep because of this flat earth stuff. It happens, you're not as in the conversation as I am. So maybe to you it's the outlier because you just see the happy flat earthers on X, triggering the globetards and stuff. But when you get into it, there is so much of this.
You're in the community of people that like have made this into like a profession, debating and arguing about it. And so if somebody was constantly talking about like their next argument and stuff and like never shut up about it, that's going to annoy anybody. It doesn't matter what topic it is. I don't think it seems like it's that guy's personality probably is more.
Obviously the personality has something to do with it, but for some reason once you become a flat earther like that, your negative personality traits seem to get exacerbated, and I don't know why. But my point is that I have seen this. I've debated well over 1,100 flat earthers, and I'd say probably 10% or more are in a similar situation where it's ripped them away from their family, or it's destroyed their family, or they're homeless, or they've lost their job, or they've left their job to spread the flat earth, and that's caused problems. And
that is weird. Like, why would I? So just because somebody believes in an idea, I don't think it necessarily means that eventually it's inevitable if it's going to disrupt that person's life. I just don't. I don't believe that. The people you're talking about, that you said you've debated however many flat earthers. So it sounds like there's a long list of people that are trying to make names for themselves by going around and debating about it. That's why I don't invest in debate stuff. Like, it's not something I want to listen to. Everybody says the same stuff all the time, same arguments over and over and over again. So those people that you're talking about, like Nico or whatever, these people have dedicated a lot of their time, even if it wasn't flat earth, if it was like Bigfoot or some shit like that, they're dedicating a lot of their time to this channel on the computer and like thinking about it all the time instead of like spending it with their family.
Okay, but what about me? I spend a lot of time, probably 80 hours a week plus I work on my channel. But I've got an extremely happy family life with a wife that I'm obsessed with and 2 kids that I love and love me greatly. So there's no reason why that should be,
There's people that work 40 hours a week and they don't get to spend very much time with their kid at all, really. Like, I work full time and I see her.
The point is that using that as an excuse doesn't really work because anyone can have a stressful job or a hobby and it not have to get in the way of their family. There's no reason why having a belief like that should
But it
get
does
in the
happen
way of
pretty often. It does happen pretty often.
I've just
with
noticed your
hobbies.
little cat thing there, and do you see where mine is?
Yes. Yeah, it's on the shelf.
Yeah, we've got one in the front of our car as well.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. Those people, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Nico, King Nico. I think
I don't know how anyone
kinda-
can be. He's a horrific person.
He
And that's
seems
another
like a
thing that I see with
dishonest
so
person
many
to
flat
me.
earthers is that they end up being not just what I would say stupid, but actually horrific, horrible people. Like Daniel Pratt, who literally wants to kill people that don't believe in the flat earth. Santos Bonacci, who sent me hundreds of death threats and said he would slit my mum's throat. You know, that,
Well,
and I
that one
don't
guy
know why
wanted to
this
kill John
happens to
Lennon
them.
because Catcher in the Rye told him to, man. There's always going to be crazy people out there that want to do crazy shit in the name of all sorts of different
But
things.
why do I see so much of it around flat
Because
earth?
you have a anti-flat Earth channel. Of course, you see it more than everybody else. Of course, you would see the negative aspects of having a flat Earth channel because you spend your time around people with flat Earth.
Well, yeah, but
channels
my
all the
point
time.
is, why is it a greater? You know, I've spent a lot of time around other people. You know, but flat Earth is the only thing I've ever spent a lot of time around, where such a large proportion of the people have rejected reality so hard that it's destroyed their family lives.
Dude, I don't know any people like that. All the flat Earth people I talk to, I don't watch this. I don't even know who Nathan Oakley is. I hear his name all the time. I'll watch Flatzoid sometimes, but other than that, man, I don't
Flatzoid,
really
good lord.
watch. Yeah, I don't spend a whole lot of time watching flat Earth debates or
And that's
know
probably
any
why
of
you
the
haven't seen as much of the
influencer.
negative side as me. But as I've done this, I've noticed more and more how it can affect people so much. I see flat Earth as like a gateway drug to conspiracy and mental problems, because that's the way it goes. When you
No,
have
you know
that
what the
mindset
gateway
of,
is? Lizard people.
That's
how I got-
We're not allowed to talk
that's how
about
I
lizard
got it.
people. Yeah, but for me, what I see is when you think the Earth is flat, that means that literally everybody is lying to you, and then that makes everything else conspiracy, and that means everyone else is lying to you, and then that can cause mental problems, and then your family's part
it
of
can
it.
fuck
And,
people up
you know?
for sure. Yeah.
So
It doesn't. I don't think it does most of the time. I think people are kind of mind blown about it for a while, and then it kind of fades off,
Yeah.
and you go back to work.
Oh, right. That, I think, is the majority of people, right? I think that there's probably millions and millions of people who go, oh, wow, says the Earth is flat. And they probably spend a week looking at it and go, never mind, and move on, right? But then,
Or they just
there's
go,
the
I guess
others.
it's flat, and then they still move on because it's not.
Yeah.
They don't make it their whole life.
And you know what? I'd be cool with that, right? I wouldn't have a problem with those flat earthers. It's the flat earthers that then come and try to argue with the people that say the Earth's a globe and say that they're wrong and stuff, and then I have to fight back against it, you know?
Well,
but then,
yeah, I understand where you come from, but I just don't think those flat earthers, the like influencer peoples or the people trying to make names for themselves with channels and shit, you've done a good job. You seem to do. I mean, I've seen your numbers and stuff, and your donation stuff come in. So I mean, but there's a lot of people trying to also do that. You know, everybody wants to be an influencer right now. It's a really cutthroat fucking industry. So.
And that becomes a problem as well when they want to become an influencer in flat Earth, and then because that's such a niche, they can't get massive numbers, and then that becomes a problem for them. And then they've made their entire life doing flat Earth, and then they're making pennies, and they can't support themselves. And
Yeah,
then
they
families
shouldn't
fall
have done
apart.
that. That was a stupid move.
I mean, there's
That
very
was
few
dumb.
people who can actually make a living out of being a flat earther, and to do that, you probably have to lie and
Yeah, that's
sell a
retarded.
dodgy app.
Nobody should try to do that.
Yeah.
In my
please,
opinion.
please
I
tell
think
me
that's a
you
bad
do not
idea.
have Dave Weiss's app, by the way.
I don't. No, I don't.
Good.
I don't like Dave Weiss.
Good. Yeah. Did you know that the security flaws have now been officially exposed in like a proper document after 90 days of warning?
I don't know about a document. I saw somebody post something about him. There was some other crack in his code or some shit. I don't remember. But
Yeah, well, the app
it's all
is-
recent.
it's
Just in
just
the last
terrible.
couple days.
Yeah. Right, let me catch up on the super chats, and then we're getting to talking about the final experiment. Ash D. Alexander became a new member. Thank you very much, buddy. That is, we're well over 3,000 members now. Artful Dodger for $5 says, "Be careful with differing viewpoints from religious zealots in the States, Craig. You and your wife Christio-fascism is officially the new reality. Yeah, a lot of people are like, please don't die in America, Craig. I'll do my best. Brandon Contreras for $5. If Flat Earth just stopped at believing the Earth is flat and questioning the globe, we wouldn't fight as hard against it. But it goes way further. Absolutely. Danny Austin, who's been a member for 9 months, says, is Mallory the voice of Purple in the Eminem? Hadn't seen Mallory for a while. Downside Up with their 10th super chat on the channel says, I can see this happening with Witsit and his wife when their kids are old enough to realise how ridiculous their beliefs are. Yeah, I know, and that'd be very, very sad, wouldn't it?
That's fair.
Right. You do know about Witsit, right? How he literally assaulted his wife and has a criminal record like a lot longer than mine.
So a while back, I saw mugshots of him. I mean, I've been in trouble a lot too, but I didn't really read in to see what any of the
there is 3 assault charges. There's 2 drunk and disorderly. There's a drugs charge. There is 3 disturbing the peace. 1 of them on federal land. And there is domestic abuse where he spat in his wife's face.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't follow Witsit either.
Good. I'm going to meet him in 4 days'
himself
time.
To be a liar.
Oh yeah, he got a trip to Antarctica and fucked it up. OG Yeti $2 says Craig can't make money from not NASA. All right, so the final experiment. Will Duffy got a bunch of people together. Some people funded themselves. Will Duffy funded others. And they went down to Antarctica and saw the 24-hour sun. What are your thoughts?
I believe at some point they did go to Antarctica. I don't necessarily believe that they went when they said they did. The footage I saw from Jaren's stuff looked a lot more legit, and like the lighting and everything seemed to make more sense than the stuff of the 360 cameras.
Yeah, 360 cameras can distort things, because it's basically 2 cameras looking opposite ways stitched together. So and obviously every camera is going to have different lighting and stuff. And Jaren's was mostly like a GoPro on him and everything like that. But so you believe Jaren's footage, but not like Dave McKeegan's?
I didn't even look at McKeegan's. I didn't do it. I watched like the first couple of weeks afterwards when everybody was kind of pumping stuff out about it, like trying to find something wrong with it and everything. That's all the stuff I saw. So I saw Flatzoid had some stuff. Just, the channels, the normal, regular Dubé had stuff. And after that, I didn't really watch much. I didn't go and watch your guys's or their footage. I didn't sit there and I pick through it like everybody else did. I waited for everybody else to do it. And then they found some stuff that seemed sketchy, off. The sun moving like turning different shape and going in and out as it goes.
Yeah, I mean that's just 360 camera, like the way that it stitches together, obviously.
So you know what's funny about that? I just went and got a camera recently, and for that big trip that they went on to go through all that and only spend that much money on cameras, like they weren't that much at Best Buy where I went to, unless they got a different kind. But it seems like they should at least try to get better quality than that.
Dave McKeegan took some pretty expensive equipment with him. Like he's a professional photographer. He took his professional photography equipment with him.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I looked at a different time.
Jaren took a GoPro and his mobile phone, basically.
Him on the bike when he was riding the bike, all that looked legit. That looked real. But the thing with I don't know, man. Witsit, the whole vape thing happened, right? But not even just that. Like during that same part when he I'm gonna pick up some snow, and then he walks 15 feet in the other direction. That didn't make any sense.
Well, right,
you could make it make sense, but
the majority of it the majority of it isn't actually snow. It's compacted ice. Because it doesn't snow all of the time, and it didn't snow whilst they were there or a lot of the days before. So the majority of what's there is literally just compacted ice. They even have vehicles that drive over to compact to make pathways and stuff. So to get an actual pile of snow, he would have had to go to one of the edge of those pathways that was made. Now, of course, he did lie about the vape. You know, he said he didn't vape and then come on camera, but
yeah,
he did,
but wasn't it funny though? Like up until he finally got busted for real, it was over. You know, everybody was defending him before that. He's not lying. He's not. Oh, you guys are coping and da da da. No, dude, he's lying. Like he's clearly lying. And you guys know you guys are just coping, and you're so fucking butthurt and da da da. No, and we're just like, no, I'm pretty sure. Like that's all we were saying. He's lying about that, and everybody.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'll admit, initially, I was like, of course he didn't lie. He was in Antarctica. Why would he lie? But then I forgot that he's Witsit, and that's just kind of what he does.
Okay.
And then I watched the footage back, you know, because I was in the middle of reviewing some people saying that it was fake, and I was like, let's look. This clearly he wasn't vaping. But as I watched the footage, I was like, huh. And then Dave McKeegan messaged me and was like, yeah, I recorded him, and he absolutely vaped. And then Dave showed me the raw footage from his camera, which showed him coming out of the...
Why? Why lie about it?
Because he's a pathological, narcissistic liar. He saw...
But why would he need to do it? Because he's in fucking Antarctica.
Because his
it's
ego
cold enough you should be able to see your breath. That dry air shit doesn't make any sense.
No, that absolutely makes sense, because unless there's moisture in the air...
There's moisture, dude, when you breathe it in. Yeah, but when you breathe it in, dude, your body humidifies the fucking air.
Not if you've been out in the dry air for a long time, you won't see.
But he wasn't. He just went into the cabin thingy or whatever the fuck it was.
Well, once he came out with the vape, then it was. But you know, there's many videos of people that you know.
I'm saying, why would he need to lie about that?
Right. So why would he lie? Here's the reason. He has an extremely shallow, fragile ego. He was on a live stream.
They all do. Every single one of them.
Oh, no. If you think we've got a shallow and fragile ego, Witsit's is way less. He was doing a live stream, and in his live stream, he saw people calling him a liar. And he couldn't cope with that, right? And because he couldn't
shouldn't have lied.
Well, I know, but he's a liar, right? But then, because he couldn't cope with being called a liar, he had to prove that he wasn't a liar by showing breath. And the only way he could do that was by going in, getting, you know, and come back out with his vape, and then that made it. Now, was it necessarily the vape juice and stuff that came out? No. But once he'd vaped, then his lungs were moist.
Why even risk it, though? Why even risk it?
Because if he was really there,
a
pathological narcissistic liar.
To do that. If you guys don't believe me, then fuck you. Whatever. Why come in and like get a?
Because it's Witsit.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because it's Witsit, and he cannot not lie. Even if he's in a place where he doesn't need to lie, he will lie. Right? He lied about so many things. He lied about the vape. He lied about why the vape was there. He lied about forgetting it in his bag. He lied because he was hiding it from his wife and didn't want his wife to know, but was so stupid that he was in a place where he was being recorded 24 hours a day vaping. This is how dumb he is, right?
Why does his wife give a fuck if he's vaping or not?
Because he's told her that he doesn't, and you know, I mean, my wife vapes, and I don't really like it, and then you know, if she quits, I'm going to be extremely happy. Maybe he said to her, "Oh, I've quit," and she was very happy, and he didn't want to lie to her, so he hid it from her.
Okay, whatever. So we agree that Witsit's a liar.
Oh yeah, 100%. Witsit is a pathological, narcissistic liar. He can't stop. The way to tell Witsit is lying. The way to tell Witsit is lying is if his lips are moving. That's it.
What about Will Duffy, who just, you know, up there on the pulpit? Or you know what? I really don't think I've never seen any people in his little church videos. It's always just him looking at the camera.
No, I've seen videos of people, you know, after coming up, shaking his hands,
actually going to listen to him on purpose.
Well, yeah, because he makes a lot of sense. Like the thing that he said, like the Bible literally doesn't say you're not allowed to lie. Lying isn't the same as bearing false witness. They're not.
Yeah, but why was he okay? Whatever. Why was he even looking for that? Why was he bringing that up? Because he wanted to justify lying about something? Probably.
No, that was from like years and years and years ago. And you know, he gives speeches.
It didn't matter whether it was about the final experiment or not. He wanted to lie about stuff, and then
maybe someone asked him a question. Maybe as a pastor, someone had asked him a question about lying, and he went away and he did some thinking and read the Bible more.
Just look at him, Craig. Look at the guy. He is a weasel.
No,
Like,
that's just an opinion, though. There's nothing Weasley about him.
Okay.
He paid for people to go to Antarctica. How's that a Weasley thing? That's an
and
amazing thing to do.
that's kind of sketch too, because
Why?
you could say whatever about his financial problems and all that, but if he
doesn't
was in
have
the
financial
middle of
problems. What do you mean?
okay, there were claims against him for
Right. Okay.
yeah.
So he
So
is.
he still had two open cases. 3 of them were closed. 2 of them were still open, and one of them that was open was for.
Right. Let me explain that. So he was an investor, and he has been for many, many, many years. As an investor, only having 5 complaints against you in your entire
Yeah, I know.
career
I remember
is an
you already told
incredible
me this
record.
on the internet or whatever. But
Right?
how could he justify paying all that money for all those people to go when he didn't even know if he was going to have to pay out for these cases that weren't even closed?
Because he's got a lot of money. It's his money, and he can do what he wants with it. Right, but here's the thing: they aren't even cases; they're complaints. That's it.
Okay,
they're not like lawsuits or anything. They're simply customer complaints because people lost their money investing. Even though
Will was like paid out. He paid out for 2 of them, though. I mean, there are consequences for these things.
He paid out like 5% of what was asked.
It was like, for one of them, which was 10 grand.
Yeah, and the other one was about 26% of what was asked.
What?
The other one was about 26% of what was asked. Basically, here's what happened with those things, okay?
He lied to people?
No. Right, let me explain. He didn't lie to people.
Pretty sure that's what happened, Craig.
Right. Will was an investor, right? And Will would recommend things to do, okay? And he recommended these certain investment things. I know, he was a financial advisor. Right, let me quickly catch up on Super Chats. It's a Rubik's with $2 says, friendly reminder that NASA's watching. Thank you very much. I can't wait to meet you in America, Rubik's. Greg, £2. Will Duffy, the greatest feigner of scientism. The Grumpy Old Mechanic for $5 says, how does Stoops explain the 309 people who have skied to the South Pole observing the 24-hour sun? Me. Sorry?
Busted. I don't know.
Okay. Have you looked into all the people that have skied to the South Pole individually?
No. I told you, dude, I don't spend a whole lot of extra time in my life to, researching more about
just so you know that has happened.
That happened in Antarctica.
Just after the final experiment, there was a 21-year-old disabled girl who did a solo trek to the South Pole on her own. So that was very good. OG80 for $2 says, we can do this to Stoops looks like a ferret. Stoops looks like a ferret?
Me?
No, he looks like Keanu Reeves from Temu. Mom, I want Keanu Reeves. We've got Keanu Reeves at home. And then Keanu Reeves at home.
It's me.
So, right. So are your problems with the final experiment then basically based on...
It was run by liars.
Right, so it's based on the people that you think are liars, even though there's no evidence that they've actually lied.
Except Whitsitt. And Will Duffy
Whitsitt didn't run it, right. Whitsitt, did you know that Whitsitt was like an afterthought, right? Whitsitt wasn't even supposed to go. He only went because Jaren asked him to go. Jaren said that he wouldn't go unless Whitsitt went as well. And then if Jaren didn't go, then maybe it would have been Whitsitt on his own. But Whitsitt literally got to go.
Is fucking huge too, man. Like, I can't stand listening to that guy either.
He's funny.
He's annoying. He's terrible.
He's actually fucking hilarious.
I could see how maybe you could think that.
You should actually listen to his shows properly. He's very funny. I
don't even like the sound of his voice.
Ah, well, that's a personal thing. I think he's got a pretty good radio voice. But so Whitsitt is a liar, but he wasn't running it. Let's be clear, Whitsitt was the most expensive baggage that ever existed. Do you know what he did in Antarctica? He slept for 2/3 of it. The rest of the time,
you know what? I don't think they could have pulled it off unless they brought him. I don't think it would have worked without him.
What do you mean?
I don't think there wouldn't have been such a stir in the community about the final experiment if they weren't able to pull a somewhat prominent influencer, or if you look at his
they already had Jeranism
Twitter account, he's a media personality now. whatever the
Jeranism is
fuck.
way more though. Jeranism's way bigger than Witsit.
I never again. I've never watched any of their shit, so
I mean, Witsit's got
that's
about
the issue that
40,000.
you can get like you can shame all of the like prominent guys and Witsit and Jaren and they can flip on everything or whatever, but it doesn't matter because the whole flat Earth idea isn't going to go anywhere just because you fucking Jaren doesn't have a fucking channel anymore or whatever happens.
Oh, he does, but he's not a flat Earther anymore. Hey, well, that's kind of
okay, that's fine, but like it's not going anywhere because
no.
like
I think you missed the point of the final experiment. Yeah, I think you actually missed the point of the final experiment. The final experiment was to basically shine a light on flat Earth dishonesty and stupidity. No one ever thought that the final experiment would make flat Earth go away. The final experiment did exactly what it was meant to do, and that was made flat Earth look even more stupid than it already was.
I don't think so, man. I think it made a lot of people. I mean, in your opinion, yeah, but a lot of people think they faked it. So,
well, I've had probably several dozen emails from people saying that convinced them. Jeranism has had several dozen people follow him out of flat Earth.
Sucker born every minute, Greg.
Yeah, I know that's how flat Earth happens. People listen to people like Eric Dubay. You know, Eric Dubay, he could have gone. He was offered it. He could have been there himself. Why did he turn it down?
Because all those guys are fucking douchebags, probably.
So what?
Dude, would you really... Dude, if I had to spend an hour in a room with McToon, I'd lose my fucking mind. I wouldn't be able to do it, man. He's so far up his own ass.
He's right. Like
creepy. He's a creepy
that's an opinion
old
of
guy.
your. That's an opinion of yours. He's not creepy in the slightest. He's an extremely good father.
There's a lot of creepy old guys out there that have kids. Happens all the time.
What's creepy about him?
How like self-involved he is and how much he likes to like shame people. He gets like this pleasure. Yeah, like more so than you. You know, you think people it's funny, should be shamed or whatever. He's getting like real fucking pleasure out of degrading people
there's certain people though that need that. That's what you don't get. There's certain people that not only need but deserve that.
Well, it's not going to be productive. I mean, are you trying to convince these people to not believe in flat Earth?
Oh no, there's certain people we know will never believe otherwise. There's certain people that are flat earthers for life.
So what's the point of doing it? Just to shame people and broadcast it?
What will happen is people will watch and go, that dude got made to look a fucking idiot. I don't want to be like him. I guess the Earth's not flat. Which, again, in my case, for that, I've had hundreds and hundreds of emails of people going, yeah, thanks, you showed that guy's an idiot. The Earth's definitely not flat.
Whatever, those are probably robots, Greg.
So I'm going to be meeting a lot of them in Newark, New Jersey in a few days.
Oh, yeah. How long are you going to be here?
For until Sunday, yeah, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th.
You're going to be here on Valentine's Day? Did you bring your wife?
Yeah, no, she's coming. 6 p.m. in Krug's Tavern in New Jersey. We're going to be having a meet up. Where are you?
All right, man. Good luck. I'm in Indiana, so I'm in the Midwest.
Right, so miles
away. More towards the middle.
I mean, right, so we know Witsit's a liar, but he was nothing to do with him, organizing it. Neither was Jaren. The only person that was involved in organizing it was Will Duffy. He was the one that got it all together. Yeah,
that right there was suspicious.
Why though?
Like,
why is that suspicious?
Here's another thing I don't understand about it. Why go through all this and spend all this fucking money and send these people here and videotape it and for what? Like you didn't even get that many views. So here's what I think's working. I think that from before they even left, I think Duffy is gaming out like he's trying to start like a series or a channel.
No, he's not. Personally, I speak to Will nearly every day, and he's like, look, I can't wait for this to be over. I just want to go back to not thinking about flat Earth and spend time with my family. This was the only thing he was ever doing.
That's so fucking stupid. Then that is even more retarded because then he accomplished nothing.
Oh, he did.
didn't
He accomplished
accomplish
exactly
anything.
what he wanted to. Right?
He
That's the
threw
thing.
money in a hole, is what it seems like to me. The views on Duffy's stuff, or sorry, on the final experiment stuff, when they came out with the 24-hour footage and they were letting it out, and I've looked at it, and it's not, dude, they didn't even break 500,000 on some of them. Like it just doesn't seem.
But it wasn't about
Like
the views.
it's a good
It was
financial.
literally.
It doesn't seem like it was a good financial decision, and that makes sense because Will Duffy is
Right.
bad at
It
financial stuff.
is going on holiday and spending £10,000 to have memories a bad financial decision when there's no return on it.
Like with your family, not with a bunch
with
of
family, with
douchebags.
friends, with an expedition. He went and did something that less than 0.00001% of people that have ever lived have ever done.
Well, I mean, they can though. It's a little campground. Everybody looked into it. You can book tours out there.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
to
not
do
like
what they
you
did,
couldn't.
it's
just
30,
nobody
40
wants to
grand,
go live in
right?
a fucking ice desert for 3 days.
I mean, he wanted to, and I wanted to. I would have fucking loved to have gone, but I couldn't because of my leg.
It seemed like it sucked.
I mean, it was probably
didn't seem like
uncomfortable
any of
and-
them had a good time at all.
No, that's not true. They had the most
It was all
incredible
shitty, the whole thing.
Was it easy? No, but doesn't have to be easy to be an amazing experience. Critical
Well,
Thing
whatever.
got really
I
quite
think he
ill.
wasted his money. If he
Well,
really did finance that and do all that, I think he wasted his fucking money.
That's your
Unless he
opinion,
had
but
somebody
here's
with
the
like
thing.
way more money backing it for, and just felt like, I don't know.
Right.
I
Well,
don't
here's
know.
the thing. Here's the thing. Right. It's his money, and he can waste it however he wants. See this Fred
Yeah.
Perry shirt, right? This cost £80. Is that a waste of money?
I don't know. I don't know. What is that,
Right.
like $3? What is that, Craig? That's 80
Well,
pounds.
it's about probably about $100.
I don't know. Yeah.
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 Well, I don't think it is. For me, I think it was good money spent because I enjoy wearing Fred Perry and I want a good quality top that's going to last me a long time. Right? Your opinion is that you wouldn't spend $100 on a top, but I would because I want to look like this. So for you, it's a waste of money, but for me, it's not. I wanted this. Will wanted to go to Antarctica. So he did.
So the whole reason he put all that shit together and brought all those guys is because he just really, really wanted to go to Antarctica. That
Right,
sounds
well-
dumb.
That's part of the reason, but part of the reason was, as a pastor, he heard another pastor say that the earth is
Pastor.
flat. Yeah, he is a pastor, yeah. And as a pastor, he heard another pastor say the earth is flat and wanted to disprove him.
Well, he didn't though.
He did.
I mean,
because
And I think parts of it, I think it's all chopped up, dude. I think they had some.
Well, you got to have some evidence of that.
video editing. I think they really did go down there at some point.
Well, they did
But I
live
don't think
streams
it's
from
when
there,
they said
and
it.
you could
When they
track
said
them.
they did,
Right. Well,
and I
here's the
think
thing.
they
Stoops,
manipulated
hold
the
on.
footage.
And
And I think
Stoops, hold on.
Will Duffy's the douche, and I think you can.
Sorry, buffering again. There's no way to fake spoof several GPS signals that match where they are at the time. That's tracked by an international thing that is used by lots of people. You couldn't just fake that unless Will owned the company or something, which he certainly doesn't. Max from Matters Now actually phoned the hotel they were at in Punta Arenas to confirm they went there, and they did.
So who was that guy you were talking about at the beginning? That, because I remember seeing something about it was a bald guy, I think, if I remember right. He was expecting to get a phone call from Will Duffy,
Yeah,
and like
Steve.
he didn't.
Yeah.
He never got it.
Well, so the
Why didn't he-
agreement
why
was
didn't-
right. The agreement was that whilst Will was there at 3 a.m. on one of the days they were there, that he would phone him whilst doing a live stream. Right. Steve wanted it to happen on the first day, but on the first day, Will's phone was on loan to the producer Candice Owens because Candice Owens' producer had bought a camera which
Why
didn't
the fuck
work.
did Candace Owens' producer have anything?
Because Candice Owens thought the Earth might be flat, so she wanted to go and test it. So Candice Owens' producer went, but he took a camera with him that was a really good quality 360 camera. The problem was it required a mobile and a Wi-Fi signal. They had Wi-Fi because they had Starlink, but they had no mobile signal, right? So they couldn't use that camera. So they wanted to do a 24-hour live stream. So to do that, Will gave his phone up so that they could use that to broadcast a 24-hour live stream. Unfortunately, Will's phone then did a forced update, and then so did Starlink, and ruined the 24-hour live stream. But that meant that Steve couldn't get a phone call on the first day. Will contacted Steve.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Okay.
So they spent all that money and brought all that equipment down there, and they fucked up and they didn't have an extra camera or whatever, so Will had to give them their phone. Is that what you're telling me?
They didn't have an extra 360 camera, no. There was no spare 360 cameras, right?
That's retarded.
So
that's ridiculous.
Well, they bought one expensive one and took that, but it wasn't working, right? Blame Candice Owens' producer for that.
them being fucking stupid,
Right.
I guess.
I mean, it's Candice Owens' producer. What do you expect? But then what happened was, obviously, the phone rebooted, then Starlink rebooted. But that meant the first day that Steve couldn't get the phone call. Will contacted Steve and said, look, can't do it today. I'll call you tomorrow. By that point, Steve had thrown his dummy out the pram and decided that he didn't want a phone call because he wasn't the most important thing in the world and hadn't been phoned on the first day. Even though that
well,
wasn't
he was supposed to call him on the first day. That was the whole fucking deal, was it?
No, it wasn't. The deal was that he would phone him on one of the days. It was never said the first day. That's the point.
Okay.
At no point was the deal, I will phone you on the first day. It was, I will phone you.
And then he just
at
wouldn't
some point.
answer after. He just wouldn't answer after
No,
the first
he
day.
didn't answer afterwards because he'd thrown his dummy out the pram and decided that Will was a liar because he didn't get a phone call the first day.
Well, does seem like a liar because I don't buy that.
But there's no evidence of that.
They needed to use his phone because they didn't have anything else. That sounds dumb.
Again, blame Candice Owens' producer.
What about so Will spent all this money. You say he financed everything. So Candace Owens just heard about this guy and was like, "How the fuck did she hear about Will Duffy's little thing?"
Because she was looking into Flat Earth at the time,
and she came across Will Duffy.
Yeah, it was the big thing in Flat Earth at the time.
What?
Yeah.
So okay, and then she was like, "Huh? I wonder if that guy's interested in me coming along."
Yeah, pretty much. So she sent her producer,
and he just got a free ride. Candace Owens.
No, the producer. The producer. Candice Owens paid for his producer. Will didn't pay for that. He just came along and paid for himself. Well, Candice Owens paid for him.
Candace Owens paid for
her producer to go to Antarctica.
For that guy to go. Will paid for everybody else.
Well, not everybody else. No, Will paid for him. Will paid for Jaren. Will paid for Whitsett, and Will paid for Lizbeth. The other people funded themselves. Toon funded himself. Critical Think fund. Oh, so Dave McKeegan as well was paid for by Will. No, actually, Lizbeth was paid for by someone else in the community. So yeah, Lizbeth was paid for by the community. Critical Think funded himself. Toon funded himself. Candice Owens' producer was paid for by Candice Owen. Mark Herman also funded himself. So Will funded him, Dave, Jaren, and Whitsett.
All right. So all of these people invested money into this thing just on for a laugh. Like they didn't get anything from it. I don't believe all of those people spent all of that money just to tag along with Will Duffy on his Antarctic trip. Right. That's crazy.
Dave hold on. Right. Toon is a YouTuber that argues against flat earthers, so of course he would fucking go given the chance. Plus he got so many super chats and stuff, it was definitely financially worth it for him. He crowdfunded his trip there.
Who are we talking about?
Toon.
McNeill?
Yeah. Okay. So he didn't literally pay himself, he crowdfunded. Lots of people donated. Plus he got probably 20,000 plus of super chats, I don't know. So that was worth it. Dave McKeegan was paid by, his was paid for by Will Duffy, so that was worth it for him. Critical Think funded it with crowdfunding again, because he had an experiment that he wanted to do. Mark Herman is a flat earther who's a movie maker and wanted to do a documentary on it.
Okay, well that makes sense, because there's a return there. He's going to get something out of it. Maybe. Probably not. But I'm guessing that's the idea of making the documentaries, to sell it. Unless he's just doing it for home movies. Plus he probably
wanted to check if there is a 24-hour sun, because that's one of the big Flat Earth claims, is that there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And Dean Odell, the Flat Earth pastor, said that if there was, it would show the Earth was a globe. But then decided it was actually Satan in the sky and not the sun.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. All that's real. I don't know. It just seems real sketchy that Candace Owens was involved, and I feel like she had to see some sort of other benefit other than just,
Jonathan,
you
yeah,
know,
not Mark.
seeing if the sun was going to set or not.
But I mean, that was the flat Earth claim, and basically it was to test the flat Earth claim, plus to go somewhere in the world that not many people have seen, even if it wasn't very comfortable. They had to sleep in a tent on the ice. But I mean, what an experience,
Awful.
Right? Why do people
Sounds
climb
awful.
to the top of Everest? I bet that's not a very comfortable experience, but they do it for the experience.
Yeah, but it's different because there's not like a tour guide that takes you to a neat little campground, on like up on top of Everest. You got to put in a lot of physical fucking work to get up there. You just take a boat to Antarctica, man. That's not the same.
No, you don't just take a boat to Antarctica. You take a massive
or whatever,
plane.
a plane or whatever the fuck they did. They flew in, or
but it's still an experience.
Big machine got them there.
It's still an experience that not many people in the world have done. And
okay, but it's not the same as climbing
fucking cool.
That's all I'm saying. That doesn't seem comparable to me.
I mean, it just seems like you're trying to make
camp
excuses
out for a couple days and have all your meal. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
climbing a mountain's a lot different than that.
I'd do it if I could. I'd jump at the chance to go there if I was able to. It would be amazing.
I mean, yeah, if you were gonna get it for free or whatever, I get that. But like, a lot of these people are spending a lot of money and people are giving them a lot of money.
Well, yeah, of course, people in our community are going to fund people to go because they want to see it happen. Of course, they wanted to see Toon in Antarctica and Critical Think in Antarctica. Of course, they did.
Okay, I guess.
I still don't get why you're calling Will Duffy a liar when there's literally no evidence he's ever lied.
I think he's a liar. I believe he's lied about things. You think he didn't?
But do you have any evidence he has, though, other than like your feelings?
I feel like what he did with those financial issues that he got into, I feel like that was probably due to lying to people. Yeah, I believe he probably did.
Again, do you have any evidence of that? And again, 5 complaints.
I guess I don't, man. But the fact that they filed claims kind of seems like,
well, again, they're not claims. They're complaints. There's no claims that have been made. It's just complaints.
So they took the time to file all these fucking complaints.
Well,
for
when
a reason.
you lost a bunch of money in an
was dishonest or deceptive because he looks like, and he looked sketch to me, dude. But other than that, he said,
just an opinion.
He said that he doesn't have a problem. There's no reason a person can't be in God's good graces or whatever. He made it a point to justify lying on a pulpit.
No, he didn't justify lying. What he said was the Bible doesn't say that it's immoral to lie. That's all he said. And if you watch the whole sermon, he gives many examples. And, I absolutely believe that there is times where it is moral and imperative to lie.
But, Craig, you get shitty at liars all the time. I hear you talking shit. Hang on, I gotta get some water. I hear you talking shit about flat earthers all the time, and you scream at them for being liars, man. Lying is never...
because there's a difference for lying morally and lying immorally.
Okay. I don't think...
lying to save a life is fine.
99% of situations, it's bad to lie.
Okay, well, Will's talking about that 1% then, isn't he?
Well, yeah, I guess you got me there.
Like, the whole sermon was just talking about the commandments and how none of the commandments actually say you're not allowed to lie.
Why even bring it up, Greg?
Sorry?
I said, why even bring it up? He was
because
obviously
he's a pastor, and
it.
someone probably asked him, "What does the Bible say about lying?"
I think someone was eating at him, and he had to. This is how he, he
again, you're just making assumptions. What if, as a pastor, someone asked him, "What does the Bible say about lying?" And he didn't just want to give an answer there and then. He went away to think about it, investigated what the Bible says, and then gave a sermon. That's how.
I don't think anybody would ask a pastor that because everybody knows that lying is bad.
No, they don't. But that's different to knowing that lying is bad is different from what does the Bible say about lying, right? If you're a Christian and you have the Bible, what's wrong with asking the question? So, what does the Bible say about lying?
I don't know. I just don't think most people would need guidance on whether lying was a good thing or not.
That's not the question of whether it's a good thing or not. The question is, what does the Bible say about it?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Will never
I don't
said
believe.
lying's okay.
I
He never
don't
said
know.
that.
I don't have any evidence on hand that Will Duffy is a liar, but a lot of people agree with me. And there are people out there that have receipts saying that, showing that he, was deceptive about things during this trip. And again,
There's
I
no
don't have them
evidence
on
he's been
hand.
deceptive during the trip. None at all.
All right.
Like, people keep saying that, but then never present evidence that it's the case.
All right.
I mean, what about the trip was deceptive?
A lot.
Like,
You know what else? You know what else was? It kind of triggered me when I saw it was during that 360 footage. There are I think I talked to you about this. There are shadows on there that can't be that color, dude. They're like
blue shadow, right? Actually, on snow, shadows are normally blue because it scatters a lot of the light.
no, it's not. They're normally gray.
Dude, in
They're
that picture
fucking
you sent
gray.
me, in the picture you
Yeah.
sent me, the shadows were blue.
Yeah, I don't even know if those that every
Like the
experience
ones
that I've
that
had in
you
the real
took.
world. I mean, I've seen, fucking a
Dude, I
lot
live
of
in
fake
Scotland.
stuff on here,
Snow,
man.
it's like the land of
All
snow.
my experience in the real world, not from a computer and shit that I've seen on a computer, I've never seen a blue shadow like that. Not
Well,
like
I
that.
have.
It didn't make sense compared to everything that was surrounding it. There was also something in a picture with a completely different color shadow in the same picture.
But it wasn't on the
That-
snow. That shadow wasn't on the snow. The shadows on the snow were scattering the light in a particular way. The picture that you sent me that you took of the tree showed
Yeah.
blue snow.
It was grayscale, dude. It was
No.
that
I
blue.
I took
blue
that
from the
picture and I put it up against a blue color. I actually used a picker on my software to say what color that was, and it was a light shade of blue.
Yeah, it was grayscale of blue, but there was gray in that. There was no
Yeah, but
gray
there was still
in that
blue.
picture
There
from
was still
Antarctica.
blue. And depending on the light, depending on the camera, depending on the exposure, depending on the composition of the snow and the ice, you're going to get slightly different shadows. But to see blue shadows off of ice is a normal thing.
Not like that. Not that color.
Yes, I see that all the time in Scotland.
I've never seen it in my life.
I bet
Not
you
that
have.
shade.
If you look closely, you will
It's
notice
all
the shadows
a
are blue.
shadow is always darker. It's a grayscale version of the color that it's
It was
surrounded.
darker. It was darker than the snow.
Right, so it's white. So
Yeah, the snow
shadows
was
would be
white.
gray.
The snow was white.
Because-
The shadows were bluey grey.
There wasn't any gray in that blue.
Well, there was.
No,
you
there
can actually
wasn't.
check.
This is a hard no, there
use
was.
paint, put it into paint, get the color picker, and get the hash rate, and it will show that there's grey and blue in there.
No, there wasn't.
Again,
I
I've
already
done it.
looked. We
I've
already did
checked.
this.
I did it
I
live
looked at
to show
too,
people.
Greg. I saw the same thing.
Yeah, but have you checked
No.
with software?
Okay.
I
This is
checked.
Agree to disagree again, because is it?
Well, it can't be an
Yeah,
agree
you
to
can look at it
disagree
again.
thing when I've actually checked and tested it, though.
I looked at, but we're talking about the same thing. We
Yeah.
checked the same thing. We
You
got
looked with
different
your
results,
eyes.
man. So one of
You
us
looked
is
with your
wrong. I'm
eyes.
pretty sure it's you.
You looked with your eyes. I used a software that can determine color and tell me with a hash
Okay.
number what
Okay.
that color is.
All right. Well, pretty sure it's fake, but
But there's no.
Agree to
You
disagree.
just don't understand how shadows work, so you think it's fake.
I do understand how shadows work.
Clearly
and
not, because you think you can't have blue shadows.
Okay.
Like I showed you,
Chat.
like hundreds of pictures of shadows that are blue.
Yeah, a lot of those looked fake, like AI
And
images.
yeah, again,
or
that's your
computer
opinion with no evidence behind it. You can't just say things when there's no evidence because it's your opinion.
You're right. You're right. So I went outside and I did real world, and I looked outside, and you don't see
And then
any
the one
shadow without
the one you
some
sent
sort
me,
of.
but the picture you sent me had a blue shadow. I checked.
Okay, there was gray in it, but okay,
There was
it
blue
was
as
a
well.
grayish blue. Shadows will always have a gray color around it.
And
Like it might have had,
the other ones did as well. There was just a slightly
no, it
lighter
didn't.
blue.
That shadow in Antarctica had no gray in it.
Again, I've checked. I actually
So did
checked.
I. I'm
No,
telling
you
you,
looked
it
with your
didn't.
eyes. I checked with software.
Okay, dude. All right.
Like I did it on a live stream. People were watching me.
I'm not going to keep arguing with you about it. Like you're just I don't agree with you. I think you're wrong.
Well, but you've got no evidence. You're just denying the fact that I checked.
I checked too.
No,
That's
you
what I'm
didn't.
saying.
You
Like
looked at it. Looking at it isn't checking. Going and analyzing the colors, actually seeing what the colors are, getting it analyzed by a computer to say what is in it, that is checking. Both of the shadows
So
that you
you're
showed
saying
had
you
blue and grey.
analyzed the shadow that I sent you. You analyzed the tree shadow,
Yes.
and it said
That there
what?
was blue in it.
Of course, there's blue in
Yeah.
it, but it was gray, dude.
It was bluey grey, like the other ones.
Yes,
There was
yes,
actually
it
very
was
little
bluey-gray.
difference between
Okay,
the
it was
colours of the
bluey-gray,
shadows.
but the one in Antarctica was not. There's
Yes,
no.
it was.
it's
Again,
not
I
close.
checked.
It
It
wasn't
was.
even close.
It was. I checked.
Okay. I feel like we checked the same thing. We just got different answers. Like we're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
I checked
the
with
same
software.
thing.
You just looked with your
I know,
eyes.
and you showed me. You just told me the result. And you said it was a bluish
bluey
gray.
grey. Yeah.
Or grayish bluey or whatever the fuck you
But
said.
both of them,
But
both of the
that
shadows.
one
The
in
one from
Antarctica
Stoops,
doesn't
hold on,
have any
hold on,
gray.
hold on. Stoops, hold on. The one from Antarctica and the one that you sent, both were bluey grey.
No.
Yes,
that one
they
from
were.
Antarctica.
I checked.
Okay.
I actually did research and checked.
So they came out. So those two completely different colors were analyzed as the same color. Is that what you're telling me?
No, not the same color, but both had blue and grey in.
So what was the percentage, dude? What was the
I
percentage
don't know
of
the
gray
exact
and
percentage.
Well, then explain it to me, man. How were they different? And how like
One was
How did it break
slightly
down?
greyer than the other. One was slightly bluer than the other. But they both had components of both blue and grey.
All right. I don't think you're right. I don't think it's right.
All right, I'm going to get someone to quickly analyze it now and show you. Bear with me.
Okay. Do you still have that tree picture?
Well, I'll just go back in our DMs and grab it. Icy Spin's going to quickly analyze it for me.
And you also have to consider, I don't know, man. I don't want to bring up the other shadow that was a different color and like get into a longer conversation about this, but there was also a shadow in the same picture with the bluey whatever we're talking about, the table. I don't think it had any gray in it. There was a shadow of, I think it was a camera tripod. Completely different color shadow.
Maybe it's
Same
taken from a
fucking
different-
picture, man.
Maybe there was slightly different angle or something. Right, here we go.
That's retarded, Greg.
Right, blue,
I-
blue.
All right.
Right, hold on. I'm just getting the picture now. I even sent you a video about why shadows are blue. Yeah, I literally sent you 20. Right, okay. Here is the image. Icy Spin, I'm just going to send you a DM. Oh, crap. It's not letting me save that as a snippet. Why does bloody X not let you save JPEGs? That's annoying.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna try to save you some time. I don't think.
Right, there we go. I've saved it. I'm just going to send it to Icy Spin and have him analyze it. Are you there?
Get
Yeah.
that guy eye reflects, bounces off and could, but not like that color. It wouldn't look like that.
Well, you
It
just
would have
saying
looked
that.
like the shadow in the tripod looked legit. It should have looked like that, but something fucked up. I don't know what it is. I don't know enough about computers, but if they would have set it to that color that the tripod shadow had, that would have looked right, but it didn't. They missed something. I don't know.
All right,
I don't know enough.
Just one sec. I'm just sending both the pictures to someone to analyze. The picture, the shadow of the tripod looks the same color as the other. I'm looking right now.
Not in the one I saw.
Oh, it's the one you sent me.
The tripod in the far, I think it's the far right in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a different color than that table shadow.
All right, I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
I looked at it for a long time.
See it.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah. Different color. See it?
No, you can see that there's like blue tinges on the side of it.
Yeah.
Now, when it's thinner,
Dude, every time I look at this now, it looks more fake.
Right.
Like it.
Right. So
it doesn't even.
Let me
look
explain.
good.
When it's thinner, there's less of it to scatter the light. When it's bigger, there's more. You look at the table legs and the shadow coming off of it. The thinner bits.
Yeah, the
have
shadows
less
of the
blue in.
thing on the table are way darker than the shadows.
Yeah, because
on
that's
the
not
ground.
on snow. That's not scattering
And the
the light
shadow
the same
coming
as
off
the
the
snow.
tripod is darker than the one coming off the table. Were you saying
Looks-
it's
it
because
looks the
it's
same.
supposed to be the camera or something? Is that what you're saying?
Looks the same to me.
See, that's why I can't
Right,
even
hold on.
argue.
Right.
I don't like to
What I'm
argue,
gonna
but I couldn't
do-
with technical stuff. I just don't know the
What I'm going to do is quickly go into
lingo.
I can go.
Yeah, it looks fake as
key.
fuck. They're liars.
Right. Here we go. Let me see what color it is. I can actually use the color key selector here.
Hey man, what's going on with your leg? When's that happening?
Oh, I've got an appointment on the 30th of March, I think. All right, let me
Are you
see.
like excited about it? You seemed kind of excited about it in that.
Yes,
post
I'm
I
very
saw.
excited. Right. So, let me have a look. I'm just going to pop this up quickly. Go to display one. That's not working. Sorry, one sec. I'm checking the colors. Display one. All right, here we go. So we're going to use the picker here, and we're going to go onto the shadow over here, and that's the color we're getting. Oh, it's not on the screen. Why not? Right, so that's the color we're getting for the shadow over there. So now we're going to check the other shadow. Yeah, pretty much the same. Slightly different shade.
Does that
That's
mean it's
understandable.
different? Pretty much. Is that what that means?
It's slightly different shade because it's obviously
Now
thinner.
do the shadows of the things on the table.
But these are not on snow,
Right
so
there.
they would be different.
But it's white. They're both
Yeah,
white.
but it's
right?
not snow. It's not made of crystals. It's not scattering light the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's check the shadow on this tripod here.
Wait, yeah, do the one in the back.
Still slightly blue. Yeah, there's
But
blue in
it's
all of
different.
them. Yeah, of course it's going to be slightly different because they're thinner bits. But you can even
That doesn't
see
make
on
any
the
sense.
edges
Why
of the
would
snow
the light
here.
be different because it's thinner?
Of course it will be scattering the light a different way. Even from the same
Shut up,
shadow,
Greg.
getting slightly different
You're
results.
so good at pulling shit out of your ass. Yeah.
Go, let's check
Okay. Yeah.
over here.
The light
Oh,
scatter.
look, it's the same color up there in the picker. I'm trying
Where are we
lots of
looking?
different areas of the shadows. The same color as that was over there. In fact, that's exactly the same color as the bit over on the tripod. So I've just done the table and now the tripod, yet the color picker says they're exactly the same color.
But we can see they're not.
But the color picker just told me they are. So maybe your eyes are wrong.
Does it look? But at first, dude, even at first, you said it was different. You can
I
see
said
that
it,
it's.
I said it looks slightly different, but here's the thing: your eyes can play
Just a
tricks on you based
optical
on what's
trick?
around it, right? Your eyes can play tricks on you based on what's around it. And I've just
Yeah,
used the color
I
picker
guess.
on both the shadow
guess.
on the tripod and the shadow on the table, and we got the same color in the picker.
Okay.
So
Either way,
mean,
I
it
don't-
shows that they're not different.
I still think it's fake. It looks.
Even
altered
though I've just
in some
shown you
way.
that
It
you're
doesn't-
wrong about the colors.
All right. Whoa.
We've got Lieutenant Fitz of Rage for $2 says, going to space sucks, but we still want to be astronauts. Hey, going to space on my starship fucking rocks, by the way. The Lexington is the best ship in the fleet. Fuck that Enterprise. OG Yeti for $5. These baby Flerfs are just getting worse. They need practice. This guy lies about lies while lying.
Or
He said you're a baby Flerf.
Does that is that because I haven't been into flat Earth for that long, or
Yeah,
because
pretty
he
much.
thinks
Right.
I look young?
So here we go.
Or-
I'm gonna put this up quickly.
Or she, or they?
So my buddy Icy Spin has just sent me these, right? Showing that this is your tree. There is
Yep.
blue in there,
Yeah,
right? It's like between blue
not
and
my
grey.
tree, but yeah.
Yeah, the picture. And then here's this one, and it's just up and to the right a little bit. So they're pretty much the same color. There's very little difference.
You know why
in
that
it.
one's that much closer to that corner? Because there's like no fucking gray in it, dude.
Well, there is grey. You can see there's grey as part of it.
Okay. Where was mine?
So-
Yeah. Way deep in there, dude.
Yep,
That's
they
what it
both
should
they
look
both have grey
That's what
and
the
blue.
shadow.
In.
That's about where it should be.
They
Because
both
that's
have
fucking
but hold on,
grayscale.
but
Yeah,
they both
you're
have
not
grey.
that.
They both
Okay.
have grey and blue.
Your guy just proved that they're two different colors.
I never said they weren't different colors. They're different places in the world.
You
have
did
different
say they weren't
intensities.
different colors at first, and then
No,
you
I didn't say.
backtracked.
I said they both had elements of blue and grey. I didn't say they were completely the same.
All right.
Right? But of course, it'll be slightly different. You're in different places in the world. The composition of the snow will be different. But they both have elements of blue and grey in them.
The same sun, right? The same snow's like just fucking water, right?
RGB
Still?
values. So 36.9, 50, 63.9, and then 36. Oh, wait, oh, they're fucking basically, yeah. The RGB values are pretty fucking similar.
Okay. That one, except the one in the TFE picture.
So
looks fake.
RGB on your one is 36.9, 50.6, 63.9. And RGB on the other one, 36.9, 63.1, 94.1. So the R and the G are really close. The blue is more towards the blue scale than the other one, but they both have elements of blue and grey in. So 63.9, yeah, there's like 30 points away in the blue, and that's it. And that's not much.
I still think it's fake.
Any evidence? Because I've just disproven you. See,
I
this
guess
is
not,
the
man.
problem. This is the
busted
problem.
me.
You're saying it's fake, even when evidence is to the contrary.
You just proved that those shadows are two different colors, and they shouldn't be.
But what
Because
they
it's the
should
same
be
fucking
different
location.
composition of snow,
It's the
different
same
intensity
light
of light.
source.
Hold on. Different composition of snow, different intensity of light because you're in different places on the Earth. No, it's not the same place. The tree was
No,
not in Antarctica.
I'm talking about the final experiment. Okay.
I showed you the shadows in
The
the final
tripod
experiment.
shadow
They're the
in the
same color.
side. You said, yeah, it's a different color, and then.
But then I used the software
said
to
they
check,
were pretty close,
and the software
meaning
said
they're
it was the
different.
same. Stoops, the software said it was the same, though. We checked.
But you
we
said-
did it. We
you
did it
said the
together
software
live.
said it was, you said the software said it was pretty close to the same.
Yeah, yeah. But they're of course going to be slightly different. They're having different areas of
Shouldn't
light
be.
scattering.
Why? Why would
Because
they be
a
different?
thinner thing will the shadow will be scattered differently to a thicker thing because of the wavelengths of light. They were basically the same, though. They were more similar than I was expecting.
But
Right, I need to take a
I
quick
don't-
Riley break, so just give me 1 minute and I'll be back, okay?
okay,
Right,
I gotta
guys,
make dinner too. Still,
All right, well, we'll have another half an hour or something, and then you can make your dinner. All right, back in 2 minutes.
What is a full moon and what is a new moon on your model?
Probably
Ah,
like
what
a
a
magnetic
douche.
cycle and just like the center of a barrel cell image of a
he's a
magnet.
douche. He's a douche too. That guy's all right.
I think it's probably like a magnetic cycle, just like the center of a ferrous cell spiral. Image of a magnet, it's just black in the middle. It's actually pure inertia, not just a little. In the ferrous cell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. You start to see it charge up like it did before. Once it becomes like etherically spaced, you see it charge up and take its place. Oh shucks, ain't that so? That's how moon phases work, fam. Pass the dresser. In the magnet's heart, centrifugal divergence flies, centripetal convergence pulls. But fine all science, etheric whispers sing, light and shadow blend, magnetic cycles spin, where physics seems to end. In the ferrocell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Grab your partner, swing around, magnetic cycles up and down. Either song in the air, hillbilly science everywhere, cause it's like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Yo, belly on up to the Wixit word salad buffet. Who has light vinaigrette? Behind the Jugger Ranch.
Then charges back up, and once it becomes like etherically displaced again, you start to see it charge up throughout a cycle, and then it goes back.
Oh my god, I get to meet this idiot in 4 days' time, guys.
Who?
What's it?
Oh, he's gonna be at the thing?
Yeah, he's debating, not me, he's debating a trans woman about should trans kids transition. And whether he's right about the subject or not, he's going to fuck it up because he's Witsit. And I'm going to be in the front seat shouting, "Boo! You suck!"
Dude, these culture war stupid fucking debates are like, they get so old because all it does, dude, it just like splits people up even further and further and further, when what we really should be focusing on is like class problems, like a unifying problem.
What we should be focusing on is science. Todd Ferguson, Flerfs supervisor, who's been a member for 13 months, says Stoops almost has the older brother loser's stoner friend character down pat. Oofed. Steps 85 for 10 euros with their 10th super chat on the channel. Hi Craig, maybe this is an annoying question. I'm probably late to the party. Unfortunately, I can't follow every stream. Can you briefly explain why you're now officially using your legal name? Thanks. Because I'm not just doing Flat Earth anymore. I'm going to be doing a bunch of other stuff as well.
Good for you.
And, you know, everyone knows that I'm Craig, so why not use my name? FTFE is still going to be around and, you know, he'll basically be a character on the channel. But I'm going to be more than just there's so much stupid in the world. I can't just focus on Flat Earth. William Foley for $5 says Stoops thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Unfortunately, he's alone.
That's just verifiably false. That's not true.
Iroquois Native for $10 says this Muppet is totally disingenuous. This is fake. I did my own eye experiment. He looks that way. Fake experts over real experts. For your information, Craig, it had been 15 years since the last airline crash. Oh shit, and then they started. Yeah, okay, I'm scared now. JSS Tiger, $10. Question for Stoops. Did you play Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens?
I was the stand-in.
I mean, yeah, actually, you're like Keanu Reeves and that guy just like morphed and then became less.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's a Rubik's for $2 says, "Oh fuck, I got to be in the same room as Witspit." Yeah, everyone take your shield, your spit shield when you're meeting Witsit. That's for fucking sure.
Why does he spit?
Well, he spat on his wife.
Oh, that's right.
Non-consensually.
That's funny.
So I'm going to offer him a vape when I meet him and laugh at how small he is.
How tall is he? How short is he? I thought he was tall.
I imagine he's about 5'8".
What? No, he's taller. He's taller than that.
He can't. No. Toon said he wasn't that tall.
How tall is Duffy? Because he's taller than Duffy.
Is he?
I thought he was. Is he not?
I don't know. Witsit just gives off a I'm a tiny person vibe.
Yeah. I think he used to do drugs.
Oh, yeah, there's evidence of that because he got arrested for
Which
it.
I did too. I'm not saying it, but I mean, that does affect your weight and stuff.
That's not how I lost weight. Shh. So basically, and you know, don't be rude here, Stoops, but your evidence is, well, I don't believe it because.
Because I see that it's different, and your computer told you it wasn't, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, so what would you believe, your eyes or a computer using analysis software?
My eyes. My eyes.
Really? Which
Yeah.
wavelengths of light can your eyes detect? Can they detect as much as cameras?
The red, the red, blue, and green.
So if I showed you two colors that looked very similar and you said they were similar, the same, but the computer showed they were slightly different, you would trust your eyes over the computer.
I'm trusting my experience of being outside and
And using
never
your
seeing
eyes.
shadows.
Yeah.
What?
Again, using your eyes. That's your eyes are not a measuring tool. That Whitsitt tried to pull this whilst he was in Antarctica. He was on Discord because that's kind of all he did. And he was outside and he looked up at the sun and he went, "The globe."
Are you comparing me to Whitsitt?
The way that you're
Don't-
acting slightly.
Don't do that.
Well,
Don't do that.
I'm trying to point out that you're acting similar. And if you don't like it, don't do it, dude. Because Whitsitt used his eyes to measure things and claimed that he was right. But he wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm not lying. I'm not. I see them as different, and I'm.
No one's saying they're
the
exactly the
computer-
same, but they
the
both
computer
have
said what
evidence
it
of blue
said, but
and grey, showing that blue can be in shadows on snow. Now, you've got to bear in mind, they're different cameras, they're different compositions of snow, they're different light intensities. You know, they're not going to be exactly the same. But that's what happens to shadows on snow. The light scatters and leaves the blue wavelength more than the red.
Mm-hmm.
It's a property of when ice hits those crystals. It scatters the light rays in such a way that the majority of the red rays are removed or absorbed.
Okay.
Like, do you remember that
I
stupid
think
threat
that picture. I think there's something that picture's been manipulated in some sort of way. I couldn't tell you. I think they used a lot of different stuff,
like
like
what,
real
though?
footage of things and fake footage of things, and I'm just not going to agree with you on this, man. It's not going to happen.
I mean, that's a problem, though. Not agreeing in the face of the evidence showing you that you're wrong.
You're
that's
telling
a
me,
problem.
yeah, I know, but you can't. I don't feel my eyes are wrong. Just because your computer's saying that it's and your computer also said that it's not the same. I forgot. I stopped paying attention. Your computer didn't say they were the same. They said they were different. It said they were different.
It was clicked on the shadow on
it
one
was-
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I actually clicked on the edges of the shadow, they were exactly the same.
It looked the same.
The picker showed they were the same.
Okay.
And that's what I use to like make sure backgrounds and stuff are okay, you know?
Right. Well,
Like,
I don't know, man.
I mean, like, if there was deceptive video editing, you'd be able to tell.
What did they ever figure out about that Stitch thing? Did you see that?
That Stitch? What do you mean the Stitch?
I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you mean like the square,
like a line?
the square bit?
Yeah, it was like
right. Yeah.
What was that about?
That was YouTube compression. It's not there in the normal video. Dave checked the raw file, and that isn't there. And in fact, even when I checked the YouTube video, it wasn't there. I think someone's downloaded it and it's been compressed, and then they've checked and there's artifacts. It's as simple as that. It's not there in the raw file or in the YouTube video that I saw.
Got it.
Doctor Who Design said behind me. What about, why behind me?
There was a guy that walked behind you for a second.
There was a guy, but I'm the only guy in this house.
There was somebody back there. He was on a crutch. Maybe it was a woman. I don't know. I couldn't. But there was somebody that walked
like
behind.
this.
No, it was like the one that's like you hold it with your arm, like it's attached. It's got the little clasp thing. You are like somebody with What's that
But
fucking?
there's no one else in the house. It's just me, my wife, and my 2 kids, though.
Ask the chat, bro. I swear I saw somebody.
Chat, was there someone behind me? No, they don't think there is. Huh. Weird. Are you sure?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm not. I have no reason to lie about this.
Why would there be someone else in my house, though?
Can't you just like rewind it or some shit and look? Dude, there's no way. Like I've smoked a bowl. Like I'm not that high. There was somebody behind you.
What do they look like?
They look like they were struggling on a fucking crutch, dude. I don't know.
I mean, I'm the only one in the house that walks with a walking stick. Like,
I realize that, Craig. I realize what you're telling me, but here's what's happening again. I just saw it. All right. We're arguing about whether my eyes are right or not, right?
weird. I mean, that happened the other day when I was on Modern Day Debates. The guy said there was someone behind me. There must be people coming in my house when I'm streaming or something. Alison, $5 Australian says, well, Witless is definitely tiny of mind, like every Flerf. Did the guy look like me, by any chance?
I wasn't looking real close, man. I was just kind of like looking out of the corner of my eye. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
Huh. I mean, I am a clone. There could be... Maybe they released the new one early. Loop on LPO on fire for 199 says, do you have quality reference monitors, Stoops?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Huh. Do you are you a musician? Did I remember you saying you perform?
No, I do like visual art sometimes, not music.
Right, okay. Doing visual art, do you just trust your eyes or do you check colors?
I use both. But yeah, I trust.
Why would you not just use your eyes?
Huh?
Why would you not just use your Why would you not just use your eyes though?
What do you mean by check the colors? Like look which color
do you have a computer to help you check colors and stuff or?
No, I do paint. I paint. I don't use computers.
Right. Have you ever picked up the wrong color paint by accident? Even though you thought it was like a red, it was actually slightly orange.
I mean, sometimes I'll hold like multiple brushes. So like have two in this hand that I'm switching off with and sometimes.
But I mean, when going out to buy paint, have you ever bought a color that you thought it was a particular color, but when you got home, you were like, oh, that's not quite the color I wanted?
No, I knew what it was.
Sometimes
they dry a little bit different, but usually the color that's on the package is the dry color. So when it comes out wet, it doesn't look like the package color, but when it dries, then it...
Huh. Okay, if you say so. But, you know, why do artists that use computers, like, have things to check colors and stuff?
I don't know. I don't use computers. I use these.
So you hold fast that your eyes are better at figuring out colors than a computer?
They've done me pretty good justice in the real world for 36 years or however old I am.
So could you please tell me the hash details and the RGB of this pen?
The what?
Tell me what the RGB of this pen is.
RGB of that? Is that what you asked me?
Yeah, what's the RGB of this pen?
One. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, Craig.
You don't know what an RGB value is?
No. I'm sorry. Did that upset you?
No, we're good. You're an artist and you don't know what
your
RGB value is.
Is that what that is?
Sorry?
Is that your screaming glove? Did you just scream into that glove?
That's facepalm protection.
Oh,
my doctor said it's needed for all the times I facepalm.
Yeah.
Right, so just to be clear, you're an artist and you don't know what an RGB value is.
Yeah, I guess so. People call me an artist sometimes, so I guess.
Do you want to take a guess at what RGB could be when you're relating to colors?
Well, red, green, blue.
Well, there we go.
But, yeah, but you said there's a value, so I'm assuming there's a number attached to that, and I have no idea how to attach it. Is it one
but the
number?
computer would know the exact RGB value. It would be able to tell me how much red, blue, and green was in this pen.
Okay.
But you would just look at that and go, well, that's just red. But I could tell you exactly what shades of green and blue are also in there, thanks to a computer. Your eyes can't do that.
Okay.
See, this is why flat earthers exist. Because they don't understand things and they stick to their beliefs,
Hey man,
even when shown to be
you
wrong.
asked me to be here, okay? You asked me if I wanted to come on.
No, I just said this is why flat earthers exist.
I know, but you're starting to poke fun and like.
No, I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not.
consider myself. I don't even call myself a flat earther, dude. I just.
But you think the Earth is flat, right? So you're.
Yeah, probably. I don't think it's low.
Then you are a flat earther.
Okay, but like I wouldn't ascribe that label to me.
Well, it doesn't matter if you ascribe it to
I
yourself
don't have
or
a
not. You
channel
are a
about
flat
it.
earther. You think the Earth is flat, therefore you are a flat earther. It doesn't matter if you agree with that label or not. But this is why flat earthers exist. Because they will stick to their guns even when shown the evidence that they're absolutely wrong. They just ignore it and go, I don't believe that.
All I'm saying is I see that those are two different colors, dude. I don't know. I don't want to talk. I don't want to argue about it anymore, to be honest.
I mean, your entire thing about the final experiment is based on thinking that somebody's lying with no evidence and you not understanding why a shadow is a certain color. That's it. I mean,
well,
they've got
I don't agree
of data.
I don't agree with you about the color of the shadow in it. It shouldn't look like that. It shouldn't be that color blue. We're arguing over whether those are two same, but I don't even think that should be blue. But I don't want to talk about it. But so that's my position on the shadow thing. I can see that it just doesn't look. It just doesn't look right. It's not right. And then,
even though I showed you so many pictures
as evidence
of shadows
for
in blue.
not having any evidence about whether they were lying or Will Duffy's a liar or not, you just didn't like the evidence that I presented.
Well, no, it wasn't. I
it
debunked
seems to
your
indicate
evidence.
that
You
he
haven't
is
shown
lying.
any
I do
evidence that he
believe
lied.
Okay, well,
Having
I see
complaints
that.
against him as a financial advisor is not being a liar. That just means that somebody didn't like how your investment went. But you have to remember that Will just presses the button. These people have to agree to everything.
Okay, well,
He didn't lie to anybody.
I feel like there's enough evidence that's come out about Will Duffy to where you could easily assume that he is probably a liar. How about that?
Where's this evidence, though?
We already talked about it.
But
We
I
already
explained it all. None of
I
that
think
shows
the
that he's a
financial
liar.
thing indicates that he is a liar in some way because I said that he lied to his customers or clients or whatever.
No,
you
he
said
didn't
he
lie to
didn't.
them, though.
I
There's
said
no
he
lies
must have.
there.
We just don't agree about that, and we can't prove it. We can't prove it, Craig. I think he's a liar.
You can
I'm
prove it
allowed
by
to think
looking at the
he's a liar.
cases.
Okay. All right.
Right, so Will Duffy, from what I understand, he was an investor for about 14 years. Over 14 years, to have 5 complaints against you
he was in
is
like 5
incredible.
different companies.
Sorry?
He was in like 5 different companies, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that's normal as well.
Did
Right,
he
but-
start up those companies?
He started a couple of companies, yeah, and sold them on afterwards. That's kind
Why
of what
would
you
you
do in
have
the
to do
finance
that?
world.
Why not just start one good company if he was so fucking good at it?
Because there's different areas of investments. And maybe someone wanted to buy a company off of him for a bunch of money. So he's like, all right then. Right, but the fact is, you've been an investor for so long, only having 5 complaints against you is an incredibly good record.
I think he's a shitty financial thing, and I think it's because he's a liar.
Right, you
I
would
think he
not
lied
be able to
his-
find a financial advisor with less complaints than that.
Okay.
It's
I still think he's a
simple, dude.
liar. I
Why though? You've got no evidence that he's a liar.
I think him coming out on the pulpit and saying there's no problem with people who lie is a
didn't say
pretty
that,
good
though. He didn't say
flag
that.
that he probably lies, and he
didn't
wanted
say
everybody
that.
to know
Stoops,
that it is okay, and he wants
hold
that
on.
he can
But
feel
he
better
didn't
about it. If
say
everybody
it's
else
okay
is
to lie.
doing it.
But Stoops,
Then
he didn't do that though. He did not get up there and say it's okay to
I'm
lie.
not going to keep talking over it.
Dude, he didn't say it's okay to lie. He didn't say that. He said the Bible does not say it's immoral to lie. That's what he said.
It was implied.
No,
it was
wasn't.
very implied.
No, it wasn't. You are making that up in your head.
Can I finish the sentence? You got to let me finish the sentence, dude, before you jump in. This ain't going to work.
No, it isn't. It was an entire sentence.
I was starting to say something else after that.
But you had finished the sentence.
Do you say more than 2 sentences sometimes when you're talking, Craig? Is there like ever an occasion where that might happen?
Yeah, but I'm not a mind reader and I don't know how many sentences you're going to say.
Hey, well,
when you're saying something inherently wrong, I do need to stop you and correct you.
You could wait till I'm done talking.
Okay, I apologize if you think I've interrupted you, but you're saying things with no evidence. You're just
I
saying...
think that's the biggest problem people have with you. I actually think you're a likable guy, but you just come off as rude, man. You're just kind of rude.
I'm not rude.
Like
I treat people how they deserve to be treated, and what you're doing right now is you're calling somebody a liar with no evidence of him being a liar. Him saying that the Bible does not say it's immoral to lie isn't him saying that lying is okay. He is just saying this is what the Bible says. And as a pastor, that's his job.
Right. I think most people would probably agree with me that saying that implies that he probably does that pretty often.
Everyone I've explained it to agrees with me. Even Santos Bonacci agreed that, oh, no, you're right, he wasn't saying that it's okay to lie.
Yeah.
I mean, have you watched the entire sermon?
I'm saying implied.
But no, have you watched... There was no implication of lying being okay. Have you watched the entire sermon?
When he says it's not inherently morally wrong, right? Is that what he says?
He says the Bible does not say it's inherently morally wrong to lie. He is not saying whether it's okay or not. He is making no judgment about that. He is simply saying what the Bible says.
Well, don't Christians judge their lifestyle off of what the Bible says? So he's saying that, don't worry, guys, the Bible said that lying's not bad. Yes,
no, he didn't say it's not bad.
He
didn't say that. He did not say that. You're wrong. He said the Bible says it's not inherently...
I know, and I'm saying
there's no implication that lying's okay.
Okay, well,
you need to have you watched the entire sermon? Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Well, maybe you should, and you'd understand the context then.
Well, I watched more than just him saying that. It was like a 30-second clip or whatever, right?
Well, yeah, maybe you should watch more than the 30 seconds to understand the context. That's the problem. You've seen a tiny clip that Eric Dubé's posted around, and you go, oh, he's a liar. But watch the entire thing. He's definitely not saying that lying is good or okay.
You would trust Will Duffy. You would trust Will Duffy to loan. Well, the money's not a good example. I don't know. In your house, would you leave Will Duffy alone in your house?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. Really?
Yeah, why not?
That's crazy. Absolutely. Okay.
What's he going to do in my house?
We get different vibes
What's he going to do it when he's in my house?
I don't know. Weird shit. Take a shit on your floor. I don't know. Weird.
Why would he do that?
Because it's funny. Maybe Will Duffy thinks it's funny. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to gauge.
That's not a weird thing to say, dude.
Yeah. It was.
Mark W for £2 says, can't send super chats, waiting by letterbox with open hands. It'll be there in the next 4 or 5 days, hopefully, guys. But yeah, send another super chat. F Grudge for €5 says, Stoops is stupid. That's what they think.
Got it.
So is that it? That's your entire reason for not believing the final experiment, is because you don't like Will Duffy?
And I think some of the footage looks fake, and you say that it's not, and I think it is.
But I've shown you that you're wrong about these things, so...
I mean, yeah, I guess you did, Craig. You solved the problem. It's not like I mean, there's a lot of people that think that there are a lot more
That's
tech savvy
because a
than
lot of
me.
people are retarded, to be fair.
See, there it is.
Well,
That's
no,
why
that's
people,
just a fact,
that's
right?
why
Think how
people
dumb
don't
the
want to come
Stoops.
on your
Think how
show.
dumb the average person is, right? Just think how dumb the average person is. Then understand that half the people in the world are dumber than that, and every
Most
single
people-
flat earther that exists is on the side
Most
of
of-
dumber than that.
I don't think most of the people I've met in my life are retarded. I think there's very slight. I mean, they're there, but I don't think it's that many. I think you kind of have I think you have this superiority thing.
I'm definitely superior to flat
project your
earthers. I mean,
smartness. You take
it's
your
not a
smartness,
superiority
like-
complex. I'm
that's like
definitely
big-
smarter than flat earthers.
It's a big
by
part of your
100%.
personality, your intelligence, I think.
Yeah, it is.
And
I am
if you
extremely
want to
intelligent.
display that,
It's
ways
just
that
it's
you
who I
do.
am. I am an intelligent, extremely smart person. It's just who I am. I'm not going to deny it or be humble about it. There's no reason to. I'm smart as fuck.
wait, why do you think you're really, really smart? Why are you so
Because
smart?
I've trained myself to be smart.
What can you do that's so smart?
I can calculate the square root of pi in my head.
Why does that make you intelligent?
I've got a degree in physics. I can build nuclear reactors from scratch. I helped design ventilation systems for the new warships that the United Kingdom has. I helped create the infrastructure for wind power in Scotland. I've got a degree in nuclear engineering, energy systems, and fission technology. I've built a business up for myself, even though I'm disabled, and made enough so my wife doesn't have to work. I'm extremely intelligent, and I put those
So you
intelligent
think
skills to
intelligence
task.
is how much knowledge you've acquired? You think
Yes,
that's what intelligence is?
is. Yes.
That's what intelligence is? Okay.
Yeah.
So like when you get IQ tests, it
No,
doesn't
the IQ
ask
tests
you how
don't
much
work
shit
there.
you know.
IQ tests are just a test about certain things. It doesn't really. It's not really. It doesn't help with understanding how intelligent someone is.
See, intelligence to me is like how easily somebody can be presented with new information and then use that information and apply it in the real world.
So this
without
is where
having,
it shows
like,
that
been-
you're okay. Sorry, you're still. This is you
Without
just
them
shown
having to like look over and reread and figure it out. Like, however, how I use that as a gauge for.
But this shows that
intelligence.
how
But even
un-
that's like
Okay, you're still talking.
contextual.
This shows how unintelligent you are, though, because I presented you with a bunch of information and you've refused to accept it and apply it in the real world. I'm not trying to be rude.
I don't believe intelligent. Well, I don't agree with you that intelligence is how much information you gather. I think anybody can do that.
It's your
Anybody
ability
can
to
read a bunch of
process and
shit.
understand knowledge and data and the world around you. And I don't want to be rude here, Stoops, but I don't think you have a great ability to understand the world around you.
Why?
This conversation.
You don't think I can maneuver through the world because
I didn't say you can't maneuver through the
I
world. I
think
said
Will
you have
Duffy's
issues
a liar.
understanding the world around you.
understanding the world around you.
Yeah, you have issues
I
understanding.
don't know. You
why
got to. I mean,
things
you got to
are the way they
understand
are.
the world around you to be able to survive, right? At least a little
No,
bit.
not necessarily.
So I'm doing all right. I'm
No,
all right. I'm
not
still here.
necessarily. I think you have issues
No?
understanding why things are the way they are. And that's okay because
I
you can
really-
learn. If you're willing to
Yeah,
accept
maybe
the
you're right, man.
knowledge,
'Cause
you
I really
can
don't
change
think
that.
about that. I don't think about that stuff that
Well,
much.
that's
to
a
be honest with you.
problem, and that's why you think
What?
the Earth is flat.
Why? It's not. I mean,
It
I
is-
don't have to
Why? Because you
consider,
think
like,
the Earth is
every-
flat because you don't understand anything. That's the problem. If you understood these things, you would know the Earth isn't flat. And again, I'm not trying to be rude to you here. It's just how it is.
So we're talking about the final experiment being fake, and so the reason. Okay, so I don't believe that the final experiment was legit, and because of that, I am just.
It shows that you don't have an ability to process knowledge and understand the things that you are looking at. You don't understand why those shadows are blue.
Well,
you don't understand
You
the evidence
classify
that shows
me
the Earth
as
it
dumb
rotates. You
because
don't
I
understand the
think-
context behind what Will Duffy was saying. Right? You have an issue understanding context and relevance to things. I mean, that's something you can work on, though.
I I personally think I'm doing pretty well out here. Like
you think the Earth's
I'm not
flat.
really.
That's not.
I'm not.
Well,
I don't have
guys.
like a channel, dude. I'm not, or and I don't have followers or anything. I don't have like a, you know, I'm not trying to build some sort of flat Earth empire over here. I'm just like, I watch your show and I've watched you, and I think for some reason I kind of like you, even though you get on my nerves when you like what it. But I don't know. I find you to be an interesting person. When it comes to the anti-flat Earth people, uh, I honestly think you're one of the more tolerable ones. I
don't think anyone's ever said that to me before.
I genuinely think McToon is one of the most insufferable. I think he's a sociopath. I think he's actually a sociopath.
No, that's Witsit.
He can. Both can be true. Both can be true.
Toon's not a sociopath. He just he's confident in what he knows. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. All right. So is Ted Bundy.
Well, he knew murdering people, right?
Whatever. It was a joke.
I mean, I don't think I'd ask him about physics or shadows and colors and stuff. If
I
was
wouldn't
gonna have
hang
to
out
end
with
someone's
McToon.
life, I'd probably
I know
go to
that.
Ted Bundy. You know?
Have you ever hung out with McToon?
No, we've never actually met physically.
Would you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gutted that he's not going to DebateCon. He was unfortunately had something else planned. Like, even though Toon and I haven't met, I consider him one of my best friends in the world.
Ugh, that's rough.
So just to be clear, you think I'm okay, but Toon is insufferable?
Well, you're in a different kind of insufferable. Like I work with some similar types of personalities, and even though they drive me up the wall, I still like them. I don't know. Again, it's vibes. I think it's just vibes. I found out, and also I found out more about you. You know, I learned stuff about you and like your personal life and things like that. And so like that automatically builds, you know, a closer kind of feel, you know?
Yeah, I think you had the wrong
Maybe
impression.
maybe I
the
should just
first
get
time
to
we
know
talked.
McToon, but like I doubt it. I don't think so. He seems like a very hollow person.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you and I just started talking through DMs. You stopped being a bit of a dick. So
I've never been a dick. Except when you're a dick.
Yeah. Vic from Canada, 1399 says Craig is just the worst. Constantly putting this guy in the position of having to say, I'm wrong, or I don't know. Doesn't know how traumatic that is for people now. Tisk, you so risky. Thanks, Vic. Bill Tetley, $5. Hey, Stoops, I think does not equate to facts. If I say I think I'm a billionaire, it doesn't make it reality.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Alison,
Wise
$5
word.
Australian, says, Stoops, you do a lot of projection. What kind of lifestyle do you lead that you think someone would shit in your house for fun?
It's a pretty wild one, guys.
I think you need new friends.
I don't have any friends.
You don't have any friends? Oh, dear.
No, I work too much. I have them, you know. I got like
I
three.
mean, I've had some wild
probably.
parties in my time. I remember this one time my parents went on a holiday and left me and my sister in charge of the house when I was at college. And oh my God, we had a fucking rager. There was people having sex in the bathroom, but not one person shat on the floor.
Should have gave it a couple days.
My mum and dad pretended they didn't know about the party, but they knew.
They knew.
Yeah, because when I told them like 10 years later, they were like, yeah, I knew you had a party. I didn't destroy the house, so it was good. I just had to explain why, like, the bath was broken. JSS Tiger, $5, says, Witsit told me he has a higher IQ than both of you combined. Yeah, well, Witsit's got 160 IQ, right?
I thought that didn't matter. IQ doesn't really matter, right?
No, it doesn't. IQ is kind of pseudoscience, to be fair. It doesn't really give a proper gauge of intelligence. But Witsit tells everyone he's got 160 IQ, which would make him in the top 0.0001% of all humans in IQ scores. Which isn't true,
Right.
because he's dumb as fuck.
It also depends on the test, right? Like it depends on there's cultural context. You know, if there's like maths or I don't know, if there's a question on the test that doesn't relate to like the way this culture lives, like, but this kid's actually still really fucking smart and can do. He just doesn't understand.
IQ isn't really like that. It's more about problem solving and shapes and recognition of patterns and things like that.
Oh, Okay.
There's no like cultural like questions or ethical questions. You're not going to get the trolley problem on an IQ test.
Oh, okay. I've never taken one.
I mean, I did when I was younger, because they thought they wanted to test me because I was extremely smart. I don't really remember what it was, but I know I was high enough that they put me up 2 years at school.
People tell me I'm smart.
They lie to you. Sorry.
I got good grades. I got honors in college. Yeah.
What about in physics?
I'm a social worker. I didn't take physics.
Ah,
We don't do a lot of math.
maybe you should.
Uh,
Trust me, one physics class and you won't be a flat earther anymore. You'll realize that physics is incompatible with the Earth being flat.
yeah, I don't know. It never really. It was kind of boring to me, but
Really
I've
understanding
learned.
how the world
Actually,
functions.
you know what? Ever since I got into flat Earth, I actually started appreciating math more because I learned a bunch of stuff like the distance from the.
Please
Earth
don't
to the
learn
sun.
math from flat earthers. Oh my god, please don't listen to flat earthers about maths. Do not do that.
No, I'm talking about the non-flat Earth. Like I learned stuff about. I didn't know the moon was it.
Let me show you flat earth
239,
math, okay? This is flat earthers doing maths.
So FTFE. Well, everybody here on the panel, quickly. Even you, Luca.
He's gone. He's
This
gone.
45 degree that you at the sun, is he gone? Okay.
Yeah, he's gone.
Would that be a hypotenuse of a right angle triangle?
Absolutely.
The 45, yeah.
So
45, yeah.
the elevation.
Yeah, that's flat earth math. They think that an angle is a hypotenuse.
Okay.
Right? Please don't ever listen to flat earthers about maths. In fact, no, do listen to flat earthers about maths and just go, well, that's not right. There has never been a flat earther that can do maths. Toon debated a flat earther the other day, right? And he brought this whole presentation about maths and trigonometry. But then when he was asked if he can do trigonometry, he was like, no, I've no idea. So he didn't even know what he's presenting was right.
All I was saying is I got more into like scientific stuff after like kind of research and conspiracy stuff, not just flat Earth, but so I got into like electromagnetism. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, don't listen to flat earthers about that either. They don't know what that is. For instance, Whitsitt says that everything's electrostatic.
There's this guy called
whilst denying atoms.
His name's Professor Lathwaite. I found videos of him. It's like an old, I think he's from the UK, actually. It's this old professor, English professor. But he's got a bunch of cool YouTube videos of like he used to do, they were for classrooms or something. Teaches about electromagnetic rivers and all sorts of like the way they do elevated trains. And so like I got into stuff like that because of, flat Earth.
But just don't listen to flat earthers about it. Like I said, Whitsitt says everything is inherently electrostatic, but denies that atoms exist, which means nothing can be electrostatic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
No, if you want to learn about electrostatics, I'll be happy.
I know everything has like an electromagnetic field, right?
Yeah, but again, that couldn't exist without atoms.
Okay. Yeah.
It's literally the movement of electrons and stuff that create that, and that can't be a thing if atoms aren't real,
I thought it was something to do with like, I don't know, like our heartbeat and our blood pressure or something like I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I thought the like electromagnetic field of a person isn't like centered somewhere around here or something like that.
No, I mean our
There's no center to it. It just kind of like radiates out. I don't know.
right. Okay, people don't really have an electromagnetic field like a magnet does.
But everything does have one, right?
Not really in the same way. Like
You just said it did.
no, I said everything's electrostatic. Not everything has a magnetic field.
Not everything has like an electromagnetic signature, like living things.
I mean, our
That's not
brain
true.
creates electrical signals that can be detected that go to our heart, but we're not generating an electromagnetic signature.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, like our brain function, and it gives off a electric, right?
I mean, you could figure out the frequency at which brains transmit those signals and use that, but that's not really an
Yeah,
electromagnetic
frequency
signature.
too. I got into frequency, like acoustics, and like them doing like levitation with like water droplets and stuff with acoustic stuff. That was cool. See, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I got to do a
that
bunch
is
of
pretty cool.
sciencey shit.
Not electrostatics though, but it's pretty cool. Icy Spin 199 says, Stoops, what does magna cum laude mean?
That is the second highest one. I got. It's on there. Hang on.
Kuma cum.
I think that's the second highest honors. There's magna cum laude and then magna cum. Two others. That's.
Yeah,
I got it around
definitely
here
okay.
somewhere. I don't know what it means, but I know that it's an honors designation.
Which one were you? Did you get the top one or?
No, I got the second one. So I had like a 3 I think I finished with like a 3.3, but I was really, really close to a 3.4. But I just fucked off during my last internship because I was just over it.
Fair enough.
But
someone in the chat said, "Are you a social worker?"
yeah,
They seem to they get that from you. I don't know why. Right. So, is there anything else that would make you think that the final experiment is fake? Apart from these things you mentioned about the shadows and Will Duff.
so why did we decide that Whitsit's breath didn't show up?
Well, because the air wasn't there was no moisture in the air, and when you're outside for a while,
Yeah, I don't
and
agree with
the
that
inside
either.
of your
Like,
lungs
there's
kind of get the
always-
same temperature. You're not going to be breathing out stuff all of the time.
No, whether there's moisture in the air or not, man. Like
No, that's what
when you
causes it.
breathe
That's
it in, when you
literally what
breathe in,
causes
it humidifies it. So whatever comes out is going to have moisture
right.
to it. And if it's that
only at the
fucking
start,
cold-
right? If you have been out in air with no moisture for a long time, that humidity goes away from your lungs because you've been breathing dry air for a long time. If you go
Okay,
inside
that might be
and then
right.
come back
That
out,
might be right.
then
I don't know.
trust
that might
me,
be right.
I was in the military. I spent a lot of time outside. All right,
I've been outside too, Craig.
like I've been to Antarctica, but I saw my breath because it was in the winter.
You went to Antarctica?
Well, my sub surfaced in Antarctica.
Okay.
Design Song 1 for $5 says he seems to think understanding is linked to validation and preferences, not evaluation and methodology, which is typical flat Earth. And that's the problem.
Sorry, guy.
Dude, the Earth's not flat, Stoops. I've measured Earth's rotation
I
myself.
don't think it's a globe, man.
It is. I checked. Dude, I checked. I did a test that checked both the shape and rotation of the Earth.
All right.
Turns out the Earth's a globe. I didn't just believe it, I checked. And then when I was in the Navy, my job allowed me to check.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of flat earthers that say they checked. There's a lot of that in this.
But
in
flat
this
earthers don't
community.
understand how to check. That's the problem. They think they can
But
shine
you're
a
both
laser over
checking.
water.
Both
and
sides are checking, Craig, and there's a disconnect somewhere.
only one side checks properly, and that's not the flat earthers because they don't know how to do science.
Well, okay. That's exactly what they would say about.
And
you
when the
guys.
flat earthers do check, things like this happen.
If the
That's-
Earth
this
is
is why I
spinning
don't
in one
watch
rotation
debates.
every
It just-
24
it never
hours, that
goes.
means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found
What an
is
idiot.
when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift.
Yeah, so when flat earthers actually check properly, they figure out the Earth's rotating or a globe.
Who was that guy?
That was Bob Nadell, rest in peace. One of the most famous flat earthers that's ever lived. Leader of FE Core and Globebusters. Passed away a couple of years ago now, I think. From COVID, because, Darwin Award.
Wow.
But yeah, he checked, and turns out the Earth rotated.
Laser gyroscope, huh?
Yep.
$20,000? What a fucking
Yeah.
moron! Why would you?
Oh yeah, they
spend
got
that
ripped
much
off.
money?
You can get them for like $3,000.
Oh, he said 20 grand.
I know, but that's because flat earthers are stupid and someone probably tricked them into paying 20
Doesn't know how
grand.
to count fucking
No.
dollars.
Yeah. Right. And then I did one of the biggest video on my channel is of Bob and the laser gyro, and he's in his home with Nathan Thompson, and he shows the fact that as soon as they turn it on, it immediately starts measuring that rotation. And then it shows Wolfie putting a gyroscope onto an actual globe in front of him and turning it, and showing that it's measuring the rotation as he's turning it, showing that that's what it measures.
Got it.
So, yeah. But the test I did also showed that the Earth is a particular shape, because I was able to use it to calculate my latitude on the Earth.
I don't even know how a gyroscope works. I don't even know all the mechanisms that go into it. I don't know enough about them.
The laser gyroscope is pretty simple, right? Imagine a one-way street, right? That you drive up one way and go down the other, right? And it connects back to the beginning. And now imagine traffic going both way around that street, right? If they start at the same point, and they go the same speed, they'll come back and go at the same, they would exit at the same point. But if that entire street started moving whilst they were on it, one would have to go further than the other. And that's what's happening with the light. If the light's traveling both ways around this path, but that what's underneath it is actually moving, which means one of the paths that is traveled is longer, so that it has to.
That kind of like the Michelson-Morley experiment.
Yeah, that showed that there's no aether, and matched the predictions of the globe. Yeah.
But that was set up kind of similar, though, right?
Well, it used a very kind of early type of interferometer, but not a laser interferometer or something that could actually measure rotation.
Yeah, it was
theirs was like a linear thing that they would put against different angles of the Earth going around the globe, around the sun. Sorry, yeah, but yeah. So gyroscopes work because the thing underneath them is moving, and the light has to travel both paths. But one path is longer because it's moving, and that's how you can tell that it's moving. And every plane in the world will have 3 of them, and when they turn them on, they're so sensitive they can tell where they are on the planet. And if their data on the computer doesn't match what the gyroscopes are saying, they can't start the plane.
Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy.
So trust me. I don't like telling people to trust me, but trust me, the Earth's a globe. I checked.
All right.
I mean, I don't want to keep.
A lot of other people that checked, though.
Well, yeah, I checked.
They said it's flat.
Yeah, but they don't know how to check. Like they
don't know how to use the gyroscope, right?
They're shine a laser over water and ignore refraction and things like that.
Yeah, I've seen a few laser videos. They all seem legit to me, man. It looks like they're sick.
They don't
like
take refraction into account, though. Refraction is part of.
You don't think they're actually looking at the thing?
Well,
you think it's a.
Here's the thing: we don't actually look directly at anything, right? The air between.
So when I'm looking at this orange,
right, the air between you and that orange will have variations in temperature and density, right? It's not going to be exactly the same temperature the entire way. That means that the air will have slightly different refractive indices as it goes along, which means that the path the light has traveled has been bent. So even though it's going to be the tiniest amount, because there's not going to be much difference in your room, there is going to be a slight change to the path of light. And when it's over much larger distances and much bigger changes in temperature, it can literally change the position, with the apparent position of where things are by a large amount, because the path is much longer.
I think I'm looking at the thing, but you're saying I'm not actually looking at the thing. I'm looking at
you're looking at the light, right?
A reflected image off of atmosphere stuff.
You never look at a thing. What you see is the light that hits your eyes, right? You don't see a thing. Like when I'm looking at this Pokeball, I'm not seeing the Pokeball. I'm seeing the light.
Well, I'm just saying with the laser, though, it looks like they're shining right on something they shouldn't be able to shine on.
But that's because the light has bent due to refraction.
The laser bent?
Yeah, because lasers are light. It's subject to refraction like any other form of electromagnetic radiation.
Okay, say there's no laser. It's just something really far away, and like
But still light. You can only see it if light has come from that thing.
Yeah, that's everything. Right. I understand that. Right.
And the light has to travel through a medium that has variations in its refractive index.
And you're saying that medium, so if the Earth is curved and it's behind the curve, right? So that medium is causing the light that's getting bounced off of that object is being reflected up.
Refracted,
right?
yeah. So
refracted up.
Yeah, from your position, the light is, if you were looking at the beam of light, you can't, but you know what I mean? The beam of light would be curved in front of you because the refractive index has made the light bend down from your position, which means that you're seeing something that's over the curve. So from your perspective, it's higher than it should be because you're just seeing the light hitting your eyes. You don't see the path the light has traveled.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Some of the videos that I've seen, it really looks like, it looks like they zoomed in on the boat or the raft or the
they've never zoomed in on the boat that's actually gone over the curve, though. Just a boat that's too small to see. If you watch a boat go over the curve, you can never zoom it back.
No, they're saying that like from the shore, right, without the camera or telescope or whatever, it looks like it disappears. But then when
that's
you
just
zoom in,
because
you can't see it. But it maxes out, right? The camera maxes out. It can't see any further out. There's a certain point it can't see. I think that's the same with the eyes, right? There's a certain point. It's a vanishing point. So, like,
well, no, you're talking about resolution, like, of the image. The actual angular size.
As if you could have kept zooming with the camera, something that seemed to have disappeared, you bring it back into view.
Right. Yeah. Right. Let me just. This is an example of refraction. Let me just bring this up so you can see it.
I really got to start cooking this food, man.
All right. Okay. Right. Just this last one. So that is a laser shining through some water and sugar, and you can see the laser has been bent. Right.
Yes.
And that's happening because the refractive index is changing slightly along its path. Now, obviously, that's more condensed than the atmosphere, but the atmosphere does the same thing. It has changes in its refractive index and will literally cause a laser to do that.
What is that in? Water or something?
It's in water with sugar.
Oh, okay.
But it's doing the same thing by just changing the density of the water, which changes the refractive index. And our atmosphere has changes in its temperature, which over larger distances, obviously because we don't have sugar water, but over larger distances means that it will do the same thing on a larger scale. But anyway, I know you've got to get out for your food, so I want to thank you for a decent conversation. And maybe we could have a bit more, and I'd like to maybe get into some of the science with you and explain some things.
All right.
All right. Well,
I'll see if I can think of anything I need you to...
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions you've got, honestly, right? Any questions that you've got, please come to me. I'm not going to be mad. I won't treat you like an idiot. I will just my best to explain it to help you, all right?
That's good. I feel like you're growing as a person, Greg.
Oh, we all grow. Just see if there's any more questions for you. JSS Tiger says, thought experiment for Stoops. Why does a ship need a crow's nest on a flat Earth?
Crows. Crows is the answer.
A crow's nest is so you can see further, but okay.
I know what it is. I don't know.
Well, thank you, Stoops. I appreciate it, and I'll speak to you soon, okay?
All right. See you later, buddy.
Take it easy, bye. Is that one that we can save? Maybe. Not the smartest of guys in the realms of science. Might be good at social work and stuff. I don't know, but we'll see. But that was a nice, decent conversation. I thought I very much enjoyed that. Over the next few days, I'm going to be mainly preparing for my trip to America. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing some live streams, but we'll release the moon landing debate and a bunch of shorts. And then I'll probably do a stream just before I leave to America. I'm going to do a bunch of live streams while I'm there, just on my phone. I'm going to try and live stream whilst talking to Witsit. Dave D for $2 says, social worker with such a judgmental attitude. Brandon Contreras for 10 for their 10th super chat on channel. Thank you. $5. In regards to breath being visible, the lighting was also bad. Dave McKeegan shown other times the breath was visible. Yeah. Monkey Cat Pat Pat $5. I'm convinced TFE was fake because there was no human mimicking alien that murdered the whole camp. I've seen that documentary. TFE was nothing like it. Nathan Thompson's bail bondsman, $4.99. You were kind to him. You're not going to save him. He should get an honorary Nutter award when you do the top left. We'll see. Right. Friday, 6 p.m. If you are coming to New Jersey, I will be in Krug's Tavern. We're going to have a meet-up. Looking forward to it. I honestly cannot wait for America, and I can't wait to meet a bunch of amazing people. Borg, Rubik's, what's his name? The Drunk Debunk Show. All you amazing people that are coming to meet me. I cannot fucking wait. Yeah. I will see you probably 1 or 2 times before I go, but I'm mainly going to be preparing. So let me leave you with a question. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars?
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
Good morning. These words come with a storm warning. Better batten down the hatches, grab some matches and brace yourself for a long day of misery. YouTube has given me the power to reach up into the sky and show you all that we live on the ball. I bring you science that's comprehensible. Your view is indefensible. You're reprehensible. Go on, Mr. Sensible. When I was young, I never thought I would be here to see this. A pile of random nonsense dressed up as bullshit. Your ignorance will be the death of us all, like running head first, full speed into a wall. You could always read a book, buy a telescope, set it up and take a photo of the moon, or just be a buffoon. I send you in a balloon up to the stratosphere in page 3.
You're a few fries short of a happy meal. You're dumber than a box of hair. The wheel's spinning but the hamster's dead, and you're as smart as bait. You forgot to pay your brain bill. You're missing a few buttons on the remote control. 24 cents short of a quarter. You're surfing in Nebraska. You're as bright as Alaska in December, and you fell out of your family tree. You don't have all the cornflakes in one box. You got an IQ of 2 and it takes 3 to grunt. The elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy on the top floor. Your antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. You're several nuts short of a
You're Mr.
fruitcake.
Sensible, calm down, don't go too hard. You don't need the hard slap burying Flerfs in your backyard. You're a man of science, poise and grace. Mage 2 did everything to wipe the grins off the face. So Nathan, get away from those kids. The world is not flat and it doesn't have a lid. Recognize the differences between the textbook and the Bible and control yourself. Lay off your slander and your lies. You're a bunch of knobs poisoning the well of the youth, spreading lies that you like to claim as knowledge and truth. Stop spreading fresh bullshit like the butter on your bread. Maybe a musical assault and knock some sense into your head. I hope one day you'll hear these lyrics and smile, and you realise you used to be a 40-year-old child. Now it's time to wake up, open your eyes and see, and acknowledge the existence of.
You're a few clowns short of a circus. Your phone is off the hook. Your sewing machine is out of thread. You're all foam and no beer. You don't have all your dogs on one leash. An intellect rivaled only by garden tools. There's no grain in your silo, and your skylight leaks a little. Your belt doesn't go through all the loops. You couldn't pour water out of a boot without instructions on the heel. Your slinky's kinked, and you're proof that evolution can work in reverse. A few feathers short of a whole duck, one fruit short of a full bowl.
Airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging feces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I rinse up from your mom's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns. I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed, circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I'll smack you with the hose that you taught a water level, sit and swivel. You nasal gazing muppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them, and I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Now step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with the vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck. Thank you everyone for watching. I am Craig McNeill and you have been watching my channel. Yes, the channel is now called Craig McNeill. Deal with it, it's my name. FTFE's not going away. He's still going to be here. But, you know, I'm keeping him in a box when I need him. Alright, he's down there. And when FTFE is needed, we'll let him out. Alright, don't worry. He's going to still be here. Going to be making videos. Flerfs Idiots is coming. But, yeah. Hi, I'm Craig. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. I love you all, not you, Gary. You know what you fucking did. Absolutely amazing stream. Thank you everyone for being here. See you soon. And if you're coming to America, well, if you're in America or coming to America and meeting me in New Jersey, I will see you actually soon. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. That's not the right. Fight the flat. There we go. Fight the flat. 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 The Craig. Fight the flat. 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 The Craig.
You know, I want to be a urinator. This morning, I went to the toilet.
I'm masturbating.
Hi, my name is Nathan Oakley, and I have been lying to people about the Earth being flat for a lot of years. I did this to hide the fact I have a small penis.
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.